Simpson, and I'm a licensed IHSAA football official, and welcome to Friday Night Football, powered by IndianaSRN. On behalf of the 340 football officials, the IHSAA, the crew here at IndianaSRN, we hope you enjoyed tonight's game, and more important, don't forget to subscribe to the IndianaSRN YouTube page. As you're watching tonight's contest, I'm going to show you a few of our signals that will help you better understand the information we are trying to convey. Touchdown, safety, first down, holding or illegal use of hands, encroachment, or offsides commonly known, false start or illegal formation on the offense, or a free kick scrimmage violation, face mask, intentional grounding, roughing the passer, clipping, illegal shift, illegal motion, illegal block, pass interference by the offense or the defense, delay of game, and the one signal we dislike and you as fans don't like seeing, unsporting. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight and following us on IndianaSRN. You can also tune in to the Football Weekly Show and Coach's Show every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on IndianaSRN.org. Finally, if you've ever thought about becoming an IHSAA official, www.ihsaa.org and click on the Officials tab or call the IHSAA office at 317-846-6601. Now, sit back and enjoy the game.
From Inlow Field in Evansville, Indiana, it's week 7 of the high school football season. The 6-0 Reitz Panthers taking on the 4-2 Memorial Tigers. Tigers football tonight is brought to you by Memorial High School. Mel K, Mechanical, Heating, Electrical. Tigers football is also brought to you by The Book Broker. Escape your reality. Memorial Booster Club. Oakland City University. Ivy Tech Community College. Tigers football is also brought to you by Pet Food Center, Royal Express Car Wash, Stone and Stratman Attorneys at Law, and by Rockabar Pizza. A gorgeous night for football as we're nearing the end of the regular season. Just 3 games left, and the only team undefeated in the SIAC is the Reitz Panthers, and they're taking on the 4-2 Memorial Tigers. Alongside Mike Scavara, I'm Jevin Redmond. Mike, a great game on hand tonight. The Tigers have rattled off 4 straight wins. They have their hands full tonight, though, against this Reitz team who comes in very good both offensively and defensively. Their offense averages almost 40 points a game. Their defense gives up just about 12.5.
Look at the defensive side for both of these ball clubs. They're number 1 and 2, Reitz and Memorial, as far as giving up points. As you talked about, a lot of points, 39 exactly for Reitz and 24.7 offensively. So if you crunch the numbers, it looks like maybe Reitz might be a 2-touchdown favorite.
And for the Tigers, mentioned they've won 4 straight games, starting to improve those offensive numbers, now averaging almost 25 points a game. And they've had now several weeks in a row where the offense has started to find their groove. Sophomore Matthew Fisher, the quarterback spot, has been excellent really since start number 1, and they're starting to find different weapons to mix in. It's really been a balanced attack.
And it's a work in progress, I think, for both teams. You know, you look at the some of the video that we've had a chance to look at in huddle, and both teams are diversified in what they do offensively and defensively. And, I think both these coaches might go deep into their playbooks tonight.
Let's talk about some players to watch this evening. First, for the 6-0 Reitz Panthers, and having one heck of a season on the offensive side of the ball, is junior wide receiver Hayden Summers, 36 catches, almost 700 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Number 1 in the SIC in receiving, and also Jonas Burnett, 786 yards. He's number 1 in the rushing department.
Defensively for Reitz, their defensive tackle Levi Oxley is 6-foot junior, He comes in 7th in tackles, but he's number 1 in tackles for loss.
And a force. Most of the time we've seen teams double team him, and give credit to the entire defense for Reitz. They swarm the football.
Tigers getting set to take the field, and for Memorial, a couple of players to highlight up there on the front 5. Left guard Ethan Wade, very important to the running game.
He is a senior that has really shined. Coach Hurley likes his efforts. Very cerebral, honest student. What they call him, an incognito instructor. He's part of a group that mentors academically other students.
And Sam Brackett for the Tigers, senior linebacker.
He has really come on as well. Another one of those seniors that has blossomed his senior year and has led the Tigers in a couple of different ball games.
All right, so the Tigers take the field, and very good crowd on hand tonight here at Inlow Field. It is homecoming for the Memorial Tigers, and with the matchup and with homecoming, and heck, with the weather, we expect almost a standing-room-only crowd.
That should be a great game. Looking forward to bringing it to you.
We'll take one timeout, and when we come back, we'll have the kickoff. Week 7 of the regular season, 6-0 Reitz Panthers taking on the 4-2 Memorial Tigers. Kickoff is next on IndianaSRN. Back here at Inlow Field as we are just about ready for the kickoff between the Tigers and the Panthers. Glad you could join us here on IndianaSRN alongside Mike Scavara. I'm Jevin Redmond, and these Reitz Panthers we've talked about, they're 6-0, coming off a win last week against Castle. It was a tight ball game in the first half, tied at halftime actually, but then Reitz ran away from them in the second half, winning 41-10.
Explosive offense and a swarming defense. The Memorial Tigers will have their hands full, but as we've talked about, they've gotten better each and every week as far as both sides of the football as well. So both teams peaking to this ball game. It ought to be an interesting one. Jakari Pfeiffer, also Levi Oxley, Quentin Bakey, and Braylon Hudson out the captains for Reitz. For Memorial Tigers, Leo Collins, Caleb Elsperman, Carrick Johnson, and Drew Weinzappel.
Only close call Reitz has had this year was week 2 at Vincennes. They escaped with a 3-point win, scoring in the final seconds, winning 31-28. And each week they have scored at least 31 points. As they are 6-0 under third-year head coach Corey Brunson, now 500 at the school. He is 14-14, 10th year overall as a head coach, making stops at Harrison and Mount Vernon before landing the job at Reitz. For the Tigers, a week ago they defeated Boise 54-14. It was a running clock in the fourth quarter as they improved to 4-2. And after dropping the first 2 games of the season at Jasper and at North, they have defeated Central, Mater Dei, Harrison, and Boise, and they finished the regular season with 3 very tough games, including tonight. Yeah,
this game will be followed by a game at Vincennes and a home game at Castle. Again, Coach Hurley in his 15th year, 123 wins and 64 losses, all at Memorial. So Memorial will be back to receive the opening kickoff as we are just about ready for football kicking off for the the Reitz Panthers. Kiefer Sanderson, the junior kicker, as deep will be Caleb Elsperman and Porter Road and Pierce.
Week 7 is underway. The kickoff is returned by the Tigers. This is Elsperman trying to run to the far side. He gets tripped up at the 20-yard line. Good tackle by Braden Hudson on the special teams for Reitz. And we'll see this Tigers offense first. Reitz actually won the opening coin flip. They deferred the second half. That is why the Tigers get the football first under 15th year head coach John Hurley. He comes in with a record of 123 and 64 overall. Again, this Tigers offense averaging almost 25 points per game with sophomore quarterback Matthew Fisher, who made his first start of the season against Mater Dei in Week 4 after Caleb Elshman was the starting quarterback to start the season. Elshman now at the wide receiver spot. He lines up on the far side of your screen.
Left hash, 3 down linemen.
First and 10 from the 20. First play of the game goes to Elsterman, trying to come to the near side, squeezes through the 25. Elsterman 30, 35-yard line, and a flag flies as Elsterman was shoved out of bounds, and now another flag comes in for what appears to be a late hit. I think there was a hold against the Tigers and a late hit against the Panthers.
We'll see while we're going to sort it out. Late hit would be a dead ball foul, so let's see if they mark off the penalty from the spot of the foul and then give the personal foul penalty. We had a wild start last week and just the same this week as well.
All right, so hold against the Tigers and a personal foul against Reitz, so it's not a promising start of the game. 2 flags on one play.
Well, we'll mark it back to the 20. If the foul was on the, or the 29 back to the 19, then they'll add 15 to that, so it should be to the 34, if I am correct in understanding the rules and figuring out my math.
While they sort it out, tonight's game is brought to you by Ivy Tech. You belong at Ivy Tech Community College with 5 times to start each year and flexible scheduling. There is always a great time to begin at Ivy Tech. Join us for Tuesdays at the Tech. And you are correct, Mike Scavar, at the 34-yard line. It'll be a first down as well.
Tigers getting to the outside as they broke contain. 3 down linemen. You're going to see 5 linebackers, Jevon, for Reitz, and they'll line up just about anywhere.
So the Tigers ran the ball on the first play with Elshman, who came in 23 rushes, just over 100 yards this year. They go trips wide receivers to the far side. Porter Road, the junior, lines up as the running back. And they give it off to Porter Road, right up the middle of the 40. Head of steam to the 45, and Road gets to the 47. So back-to-back good runs for the Tigers. That goes for 13 yards.
When you run 3 down linemen, Jevon, that opens up a lot of running lanes in the inside. So went outside the first time, inside the second. As you said, back-to-back first downs, gets the ball near midfield for Memorial. Just underway here at Enlow Field, Evansville Reitz and Evansville Memorial.
Porter Road through 4 games this year, averaging about 6.5 yards per carry. He was not eligible the first 2 weeks of the season. First pass of the game comes near side, tight window. It's caught by Caleb Elsterman. He's shoved out of bounds. Good throw by the sophomore Matthew Fisher. And they are into Reitz territory.
Fisher averaging over 75% throws on the year. Threaded the needle on that one.
Fisher just north of 800 yards this year passing, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That connection went for 5 yards. Tigers line up an I formation on second down. Handoff, Porter Road off left tackle. He dives forward and squirts out for a couple at the 44-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and short.
Wright's very opportunistic defensively, 9 interceptions and 7 fumbles. First test for the Memorial offensive line here. Try to keep the drive alive.
So it's 3rd and 2. Good gathering of Reitz fans here on the near sideline from our vantage point. Shotgun snap for Fisher. They run it again with Porter Road. And Road is yanked down from behind, short of the first down marker. It's the guy we highlighted in the pregame show, Levi Oxley, who is number 1 in tackles for losses. This goes for a yard. It's 4th and short.
Decision time. Do you play the field position game, kick it, put Reitz in deep territory? Or if you go for it, successful, keep the drive alive, or you give the ball to Reitz in great field position? We're going to find out what Coach Hurley for Memorial has decided to do.
Tigers go for it here, possibly on 4th and short. Hard count almost got the defensive front to jump off sides. Play clock at 10 as Fisher scans the Tigers sideline. Now he regroups. Play clock down to 5.
10 guys within 2 yards.
They're going for it. Road right up the middle. He gets the first down, pinballing through a couple of tacklers at the 40-yard line. Needed 1. He got 2.
Good job, offensive line effort. Good line search, especially on the right side. of the line. That was Edward Hardig along with Parker Mattingly. Fresh set of downs for the Tigers. Third first down on this drive.
Coming here the near side is Leo Collins, who has been a threat the last 3 games after being hurt at the start of the season. Here is Elsterman, who got the carry on the first play of this drive. It was successful, not this time, as he maybe gets a yard.
Good job coming up defensively for Reitz. Was Dylan Martin along with Alex Sitzman.
Talked about this Reitz defense, much improved in the last few years, allowing just 12.5 points per game. And the most they've given up this year was in their Week 2 game at Vincennes. They allowed 28 points.
You're going to see a lot of man-to-man in the secondary, Jevin. And you could see some maybe pressure in this passing situation.
On 2nd and 9, play action. The throw goes across the middle. Again, a tight window, but able to yank it in is Hugh Pierce. And it is a gain of 4 to be 3rd and 5.
Braden Hudson right there on the tackle. They'll mark it at the Reitz 35.
So another 3rd down on this drive for the Tigers. This will be the 8th play of the opening drive as they've taken about 3.5 minutes off the clock. Fisher drops back to pass. Has to scramble out of the pocket, looking down the field, takes off running. Fisher slides as he gets out of bounds, and a flag flies in. Multiple flags. The Reitz faithful, they don't like it. Neither does head coach Corey Brunson, and this might extend the drive.
Could be the second late hit out of bounds, which will give the Tigers another first down and a second by penalty.
It's so hard on the defensive side as a bang-bang play as the quarterback starts to slide in Fisher, but more times than not, they will protect the quarterback.
And the best thing about this drive for the Memorial offense, it's a good defense because it's keeping Reitz's offense off the field. So they'll mark it a full 15 because they mark it from the 30. So they'll march it, not quite. I guess it was from the 33 to the 18, so we're in the red zone for the Memorial Tigers.
Tigers inside the red zone, which is brought to you by Peace of Mind Counseling. Ball at the 18-yard line. Couple of subs hustle in for the Tigers. Looks like Luke Elsterman and his brother Caleb check out of the game on this next play.
We're going to see Donovan Baker in the fullback. They'll run out of the eye.
Porter Road lined up as the running back. They give is to Road up the middle, stutter steps a bit, and he's able to get positive yards as he gets marked down just shy of the 15th. Pickup of 2 for Porter Road.
Leland Head, the nose tackle, was able to trip him up. Give him a couple.
Mentioned Donovan Baker lined up at the fullback spot. He was a starting running back the first few weeks of the season, and then has taken kind of a backup role, and they'll use him in certain spots.
Well, he's the second leading rusher on the team, though.
He came in last week in the second half and got quite a few carries in their 54-14 win against Boise. It's 2nd and 7 for the Tigers. Ball at the Reitz 15-yard line. On play action, Fisher moves out to his right. He's under heavy pressure, flings it, pass is caught inside the 5-yard line near the end zone, and he is just shy of the end zone on the reception. That is the man we were just talking about, Donovan Baker. Good composure by the sophomore Fisher to connect.
Baker on the year, his 5th catch, and a big one there, as that'll set up a 1st and goal. Brought him out of the backfield.
They spotted at the 1-yard line, so that's a completion of 14 on that play.
And if the Tigers will go to 2-back offense with Fisher underneath the center.
Give is right up the middle, and this is Porter Road. He's in untouched. Touchdown, Tigers. They march 80 yards down the field on the first possession of the night, 6-0 Memorial.
Nothing fancy there. Give him off the right side. And for Porter Road on the year, that is his 5th touchdown.
On comes Pate Barrett, the freshman who is 15 for 18 on PATs. Did miss one last week against Boise. That was early in the game. Good snap, good hold. Kick on the way. And the kick is no good, so he hooked it wide left. And it's kind of been a bugaboo of late for Baird as he misses another PAT. So it's 6-0 Tigers. About 5 minutes gone. First quarter from Menlo Field. You're watching Tigers football on IndianaSRN.
The local economy and save more when you shop at the Pet Food Center. We have over 6,000 pet-related items for dogs, cats, birds, fish, reptiles, turtles, rabbits, hamsters, gerbils, and more. Anything you want for your pet, we've got it. Includes full lines of the best pet food, bird seeds, a full line of heated pet products, pet clothing, toys, and more. Walk in, curbside pickup, shop online, and free local delivery.
Anything you want for your pet, we've got it. The Pet Food Center.
Memorial marches right down the field. They go 80 yards on the game's opening drive, and they lead it 6-0. Here is the kickoff after the score. Rolling middle of the field will be returned from the 20-yard line, trying to come here near side, and not much room to work with. Oh, they actually pitch the ball back to try to keep it alive. It's Jakari Pfeiffer who ends up with the football, and that was somewhat dangerous decision there.
Yeah, the original return man was Dominic Brown. He got hit by 1, 2, 3 different Tigers and then gave it to Pfeiffer. He did a nice job bouncing off. Pfeiffer picks up a few.
Tigers scoring drive, 11 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 45 seconds, capped off by the Porter Road 1-yard touchdown run. Scoring drive brought to you by Simplicity Furniture. They're located at 1309 North Green River Road in Evansville. Have fun shopping for furniture with the Coslets, Father Pat and sons Chase and Kelsey. Drive starts from the Reitz 24-yard line. This is Hayden Summers with the ball. He has some speed, and he bolts past the 30-yard line to the 31. It's a pickup of 7 or 8, and I think we might have mentioned the pregame show. I know we did it off the air at least. Reitz has plenty of tricks in their bag.
Yeah, that's the flanker screen, or reverse rather, and they're going to really try to attack the perimeter of the Tigers, I think, tonight. Trips out to the left.
This is a Reitz offense that averages 39 points per game. Very efficient in both the ground game and the passing game. Here's a quick pass out near side, caught by Roland Vera. Vera scoots past the 35-yard line to the 40, and he is brought down by a couple of Tigers. That was actually Carrick Johnson, who was one of the men in on the tackle.
Luke Seward as well. 3 receivers out there. Just a quick pass out to the flat. Davies and gets it into the receiver, and he picks up the first down.
This Reitz offense, they rush for almost 200 yards per game, and through the air they throw it for 233 yards per contest. 1st and 10 from their own 41. Here's a pass near side. Low throw handled by Summers. Head of steam to the 45 into Memorial territory before he is corralled at the 40. That is a big gain on a pass that almost skipped across the turf before Summers brought it in.
Hurry up offense, no huddle. They'll just call a field play from the sidelines to the field. Now they'll go trips the other way.
Xavier Thomas, the senior wide receiver, the near side of your screen. Wright's working quickly here. 1st and 10 from the Tigers' 40. Ben Davies, sophomore quarterback on play action, set the wide receiver screen pass, caught by Vera. Makes one man miss to the 35, and then Vera is twisted down at the 33-yard line to pick up a 7.
You're going to see him go march right down the field. This is like 7-on-7 coming in as with the stop for the Tigers was out there, was Farmer. No huddle offense. Doesn't give much time for the Tigers defense to set.
Right set again here on 2nd down. Davies hands off. Burnett tries to get to the outside. He's brought down for a tackle for loss. Sam Brackett comes in for his 5th tackle for loss of the season, and they corral the senior Jonas Burnett.
One of our profile players that we talked about earlier today in our pregame is a loss of a couple. We'll bring up a 3rd down situation. 4-down territory for the Reitz Panthers here as they trail.
Coach Brunson never too shy about going for it on 4th down, regardless of where he's at on the field. That's his mindset, very aggressive offensively. It is 3rd and 5. Empty backfield. Davies sets up to throw. Bubble screen, Xavier Thomas, and he wiggles out of bounds on the Tigers' sideline. Needed 5 yards, and I think he got enough for the first down. We'll see where they spot it. Indeed, first down for Reitz.
That's the third first down, all via the pass. And again, we need to talk about Ben Davies a little bit. You know, the sophomore hasn't played the last couple of games, but looks like he hasn't missed a beat.
Completing 74% of his passes this year, just over 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And you can see their motto is get the ball out quick, let their playmakers go to work.
And get it out into the perimeter.
I misspoke. I'm sorry. I thought he had the first down. I was watching the chain gang here on the near side. He's actually short, so it's 4th and about 2 for Reitz. My apologies.
I'll scratch out that 1.
Running back, lined up there is Jonas Burnett. On 4th and 2, they run it with Burnett up the middle. Doesn't have much room to go, and they stop him shy of the first down. It's a turnover on downs. Tigers defense comes up big.
Defensive ends come in and corral Burnett behind the line of scrimmage. A good job defensively for the Tigers defensive ends. Joey Collins also with Jack Brackett. And the turnover on downs. You know, last week they had Bossy, the opponent, 4 times they turned them all over on downs, and they had 4 takeaways, and they're continuing their effort right now. The Tigers will get the ball 1st and 10 on their own 32.
It is 6-0 Memorial. Each team has had the ball once. This will be the second offensive drive for the Tigers. They went 11 plays, 80 yards to open up the game with a score. Here is Porter Road running left side, got past the line of scrimmage, and then is upended at the 36-yard line, gain of 4 for Porter Road. Road going against some former teammates tonight. There are quite a few central transfers on this Reitz roster, and of course Road was a running back there the last few years. Tigers did a lot of their work on the ground in that opening drive. They mixed in couple of passes as well to Hugh Pierce, Donovan Baker. But on the ground, it was Porter Road and Caleb Elsterman.
Play clock down to 5.
Tigers better hurry or call a timeout. They'll take a timeout, and we'll take one with them. 6-0 Tigers here late first quarter.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Late first quarter, 6-0 Tigers. They've got the ball, 2nd down and 5 from their own 37-yard line. Memorial just had to burn their first time out of the game. Fisher goes under center, hands off. Porter Road. Oh, he ran right into a brick wall. That was Leyland Head who came in and plastered him for a loss. Goodness.
6'1", 315, and he not only took Road, he took the offensive lineman with him.
Well, Road's not an easy guy to bring down, but Mr. Head made it look very easy.
Got an ooh and ah from both sides of the field in the crowd, that's for sure.
So it's 3rd down and 7. They lost 2 on that play.
3 receivers out to the right.
Tigers converted 3 third down plays on their opening drive. Under pressure, look out, Fisher, down he goes. Reitz defense gets their first sack of the night.
And guess who?
That's their 21st sack of the season as a team. It's Levi Oxley.
Comes in with 7. He gets number 8. And the Tigers will need to punt.
So our first punt of the game, it'll be Porter Road, who has done a good job in that category this year. 6 punts, averaging 40 yards per kick. Roland Vera back deep to return for Reitz. He is lurking around his own 35-yard line. High snap. Rode has his kick blocked. It's loose around the 10-yard line. There's a scramble for it. It's toward the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers. The special teams come up big with a block punt and a score.
Coming in, blocking it was Braylon Hudson. Hudson knocks it away. Then Jakari Pfeiffer tried to pick it up. He couldn't do it. And then Caleb Utley grabs it in the end zone. And just like that, on a special teams score for Reitz, they tie and can take the lead on a Sanderson extra point.
Sanderson, a good kicker for them, 22 for 25 PATs. Got a very good leg. He's made as long of a 40-yard field goal this year. And this could put Reitz on top for the first time tonight. Good snap, good hold. Kick on the way from Sanderson is right through the middle. So the special teams comes up big for the Reitz Panthers. They're in front now, 7-6. Late first quarter on IndianaSRN.
I don't know how you want to, it's not a drive, but just special teams. Do we get a replay on that? Okay. Sudden change.
Back here at Inlow Field, where it is 7-6. Reitz leading Memorial. The special teams with a blocked punt that was scooped up for a score, and the difference right now is a mixed extra point from the Tigers on their opening drive. Sanderson with the kickoff for Reitz. Good booming kick. Elsterman from the 6-yard line. Trotting middle of the field, now gaining speed at the 20. Elstrom in to the 25-yard line. He's sandwiched. Aiden Wells came in and brought him down. And we'll see the Memorial offense for the third time tonight, as last time they went 3 and out.
Maybe some adjustments there they had for the Reitz Panthers, but they had the big play, the tackle for loss, and then the sack, and then the next play, a punt block. So 3 big plays defensively. The Reitz Panthers offense sputtered, but the defense picked them up.
First and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 25-yard line. Fisher goes under center I formation. Give is to Rode. He comes near side of the 25. Rode lowers his shoulder to the 30. Good running by Porter Rode as he trots out of bounds. Gain of about 8 for him. We get a look at the Tigers starting lineup tonight, which is brought to you by Rockabar Pizza.
Offensive line need to be stout against that 3-down lineman and then get running game going with Rode. And, of course, the passing game with Fisher.
Tigers were very successful with the ground game their opening drive. Combination of Rode and Caleb Elsterman. When Fisher's had to throw tonight, he has been under pressure. Made some pressure throws in that first drive that went 11 plays. They run it again with Porter Rode. And right at the middle, he gets a first down, galloping past the 35-yard line to the 36, a pickup of 3.
Good offensive line surge by the left side of the line offensively. You've got Cassidy, Ethan Wade, and DeMarvion Vaughn. So first set of downs for the Memorial Tigers.
This Tigers offense, they average about 125 yards on the ground, 175 through the air. First and 10 from their own 36-yard line. On play action, Fisher has time to throw. Now he has to scramble. He's in all kinds of trouble, moving to his left, and then he just throws the ball out of bounds. Incomplete. The Reitz fans are wanting intentional grounding, but I think the officials say he was out of the pocket. Right. And did the ball get back to the line of scrimmage, though? That would be the argument you could have if you're a Reitz faithful.
Coach Brunson once said the only blue jerseys that were open were on the sidelines. But it is an incomplete pass.
Well, Fisher's yet to have a play where he's been able to drop back and just comfortably throw one.
Well, great outside pressure, especially from Oxley coming from the left defensive side.
2nd and 10. They go trips, wide receivers to the far side. Fisher moves to that side, flings one to the 41-yard line where it's caught, and then wrestled out of bounds. That completion goes to Luke Elsterman, the sophomore, his 25th catch this year. Just over 300 yards. Will bring up a 3rd and short as we look at the Reitz defense, brought to you by Rockabar Pizza.
3 down linemen putting a lot of pressure, and look at all those linebackers. They're putting pressure all over the place. Single-man coverage out in the secondary. They rolled Fisher out to the left this time, away from Oxley. That gave him more time.
Tigers slow, breaking the huddle. Play clock is down to 10. We're just inside a minute here in the opening quarter. Reitz, the last undefeated team in the SIAC, at 6-0. Fisher flings it near side. The pass was almost jumped and picked off, and it ended up being dropped by Hugh Pierce, but coming up and jumping that pass was Dominic Brown. Somehow he was unable to corral. If he makes that catch, he could have been waltzing to the end zone for a score.
Dominic Brown, I'm sure he'll look at the video and say, I should have had that one.
I think both guys, defensively and offensively, thought they could have caught that pass. Instead, it'll force the second punt of the night for the Tigers. First one was a disaster. It was blocked and scooped up in the end zone for the Reitz. Only score so far tonight. Roland Vera back deep to return. This kick, spiraling kick, fair catch called by Vera right at the 20-yard line, and that is where this Reitz offense will take over. And tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Reitz Memorial High School, providing an environment where God inspires, we educate, and students thrive since 1925. Check out their website, reitzmemorial.org, for more information.
Tigers pick up first down and have to punt it away. So inside the last minute of the first half, Reitz a 1-point leader.
This drive officially starts the 21-yard line. Davies comes near side, caught by Summers, looking for a block. Summers gets inside the 25-yard line. Football was popped free. It's loose. Tigers say they have it, and they do. It's a fumble. Summers coughs it up, and Memorial will start deep into Reitz territory.
Didn't see who got it. Maybe we can get a replay to find out if we can get a closer look. But Memorial had 4 takeaways last week, and a big one here gives the ball right back to Memorial deep in Reitz territory with 33 seconds to go.
That's the 9th turnover that the Memorial defense has coughed up. 5 fumble recoveries, 4 interceptions on the season. So now a chance for the Tigers to retake the lead. Drive starts at the 26-yard line. This is Elsterman. He wants to throw it toward the end zone. Man was open. That was Luke Elsterman, but the pass was just a bit off target. There's some trickery from Coach Hurley. Does not work out. It's 2nd and 10. I feel like this game's moving about 200 miles per hour, don't you?
Well, a lot of action. We've had special teams turnover. We've had a defensive turnover. And you want to hold your breath on just about every play.
Single wide actually, they go 2 wide receivers each side. It is Collins and Caleb Elsterman near side. Fisher gives it to Porter Road up the middle, and not much running room there for Porter. That play didn't develop very smoothly. There was some problem with the handoff between Fisher and Road. It's 3rd and long.
That could be the last play of the first quarter, Devin.
I think so. Let's take that deep breath and move to the second quarter. Plenty of action in the first 12 minutes. Two of the better teams in the SIAC. And right now, an extra point is the difference. Reitz 7, Memorial 6 after 1 quarter here on IndianaSRN.
Melk, located in Evansville, Indiana, provides mechanical, electrical, and plumbing solutions nationwide. We deliver quality service to the industrial, commercial, and healthcare industries. If you have a big project, we bring big solutions. That includes designing and installing green energy systems that benefit your business. Our in-depth knowledge and commitment to safety make us the perfect partner in MEP contracting. Contact us for an estimate on your next project. Melk, big projects, big solutions.
A Reitz Memorial education is now more affordable than ever. If you fit within certain income guidelines, you could receive over $6,000 of tuition assistance. Find out if you qualify for an Indiana School Choice Scholarship or other tuition assistance opportunities. Your child, your money, your choice. Visit wrightsmemorial.org/tuition-assistance for more information.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Oakland City University, Southern Indiana's premier faith-based professional university. Enter to learn, go forth to serve. Contact OCU at GoMightyOaks.com. And by Mel K for all your commercial, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing needs. At Mel K, big projects, big solutions.
Kevin, the takeaway, the fumble recovery was by Jackson Draper. So Draper, the one of the defensive secondary guys, comes up with the takeaway and gives Memorial great field position to start this drive.
It's the second fumble recovery of the season. Now the Tigers have a 3rd and 10 from the 26-yard line. Trying not to spoil that big defensive play that had them set up deep into Reitz territory. Play clock inside of 10 seconds. Fisher receives the snap. Back to pass. Sets up in the pocket. Tosses toward the end zone. 101 coverage. It's incomplete. It was well covered by Dominic Brown, senior cornerback there, as the Tigers were trying to target number 13, Caleb Elsperman, and it's 4th down and 10, and kind of a no man's land here.
Yeah, stride for stride, both those guys. Fisher had it there. Fisher, now in his 4th start game, he has got a lot of double digits or more long passes of more than 20 yards completion.
Well, one guy that's been taken away so far tonight on this Memorial offense has been Leo Collins. Haven't called his name yet. Only played in 3 games this year because of an injury the last 3 weeks. Came in with 13 catches and 2 touchdowns.
They're going to bring a couple linebackers. No, they just rush 3, drop 8.
Fisher tosses middle of the field. Nobody home. Flags fly. We're going to have pass interference. Maybe some acting there by Leo Collins. He sold it well. And this might extend the drive.
Well, if it does, this will be the 3rd penalty, 1st down by the Tigers. All of the major variety, a couple of personal 15-yarders, and now a pass interference.
Well, the thing that has to be upsetting from the Reitz perspective is that pass from Fisher was really around nobody. So that continues this drive. Tigers inside the red zone, brought to you by Peace of Mind Counseling. They spot it, and they're inside the 15, right around the 13-yard line.
More importantly, a fresh set of downs for Memorial. Now that time, Reitz decided to just rush 3 and drop 8. Had good coverage, but the penalty cost them.
Give is to Porter Road. He's brought down quickly around the ankles. Flexing after that tackle is linebacker Alex Sitzman, the junior. Goes for tackle for loss. Road loses a couple.
Sitzman right in there, did a nice job, as that's a couple times where the Memorial offensive runner never had a chance.
So a good play by the Panthers defense.
Sitzman's 2nd tackle for loss, and did a nice job coming in there.
So it'll be 2nd and 12 from the 15-yard line. Fisher out of the gun, drops back to pass. Here comes some pressure, moving to his right. Down goes Fisher. They brought the pressure. Aiden Wells, junior linebacker, gets his 2nd sack. It's a big loss for the Tigers. 3rd and long now, back at the 27, a loss of 15.
And that's one of those outside linebackers. He comes in unblocked and unabated to the quarterback is the phrase they use. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long. Tigers got to get all the way down to the 3 for the 1st.
Reitz defense now with 22 sacks on the season. And it's a 3rd down and 24 from the 27-yard line. Coach Hurley thought he might use a timeout. Play clock's inside of 5 seconds. He might have to. They get it off just in time. Quick pass, caught by Leo Collins, looking for a block. Collins, 20, far sideline, lowers his shoulder, and he gets wrestled at the 15-yard line. Does get you within field goal range here if you want to try to kick it. It's the first catch of the night by Leo.
Yeah, the Field goal range, 34-yard long for Pate Barrett. And with the ball at the 14, it would be a 31-yarder.
He's been shaky on PATs of late. Right.
You've got to throw it into the end zone.
Trips wide receivers near side. Reitz faithful making some noise. Low snap. Fisher's in trouble. Gets a block. Moves to his left. Throws it toward the end zone. And the pass is caught. Touchdown Tigers! Scramble mode after a bad snap. He just almost no-look threw it toward the end zone. Hugh Pierce is there for his first touchdown catch of the season. What a play by the sophomore quarterback.
And what a catch by Hugh Pierce. I'm not so sure he was able to come up with it. It looked like the defender was draped all over him. Here's our replay as the ball gets fumbled. Fisher rolls left, lifts it in there just inside the goal line, and he comes up with a great grab and 6 points for the Tigers, and they retake the lead.
Memorial will go for 2 because of the missed PAT on the opening drive. Right now leading 12-7. Road lines up to the left of Elsterman. They go in the Wildcat here with Caleb. Caleb takes off running and nowhere to go. That play had zero chance. The 2-point conversion fails. So it's 12-7 Tigers as they turn the fumble by Reitz from their wide receiver Hayden Summers into points. Tigers +5 early second quarter.
Oakland City University is a private Christian college at a state school price. Check out the Good Neighbor Scholarship that allows for a major savings on tuition and is available to any first-time student living within 60 miles of campus with plans to commute. Oakland City University, an affordable college education right in your backyard. Call today or visit this link to learn more about the Good Neighbor Scholarship.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
(12-7) Memorial after a 15-yard touchdown pass to Hugh Pierce on 4th and 12. From the Reitz 15, it was a bad snap and good composure by the sophomore Matthew Fisher to scramble, toss it. That was his 8th touchdown pass of the season. 2-point conversion failed. That's why it is 12-7. And here is the kickoff. A short kick, middle of the field, will be returned by Jonas Burnett. And Burnett is tossed to the ground. I think that was Donovan Baker again coming in there on the special teams tackle.
He along with Joey Baronis.
So that scoring recap, 8 plays, 26 yards, 2 minutes and 28 seconds for the Tigers.
That was set up by a Jackson Draper fumble recovery.
And here is the Reitz offensive starters tonight, which is brought to you by Rockabar Pizza.
Well, the offensive line, real tall and very big, doing a nice job opening up holes and, more importantly, keeping the Tiger rush off of the quarterback.
Ben Davies on first down, hands off to Burnett. Burnett comes here to the near side. He has some speed. 35, 40. Burnett angled out of bounds. And that was Jackson Draper there to tug him out. Burnett with blazing speed gets 17 yards on that first down carry.
Great acceleration. Again, he was a sprinter in grade school and in high school, and he just makes the corner. Great blocking there on the perimeter, and Draper able to roll him out of bounds.
And this is a team that averages almost 200 yards on the ground per game. First and 10 from their own 41-yard line. Ben Davies hands off to Burnett again. Flag flies, and Burnett is toppled at the 43. A flag came from way in the backfield, and it is a hold against Reitz. By the way, that last scoring drive for the Tigers, as always, was brought to you by Simplicity Furniture, located at 1309 North Greener Road in Evansville. Have fun shopping for furniture with the Coslets, Father Pat and sons Chase and Kelsey.
4 penalties for 55 yards. Memorial yet to have a penalty? Is that correct?
Well, they had the one where on the first play of the game where it went against each side.
Oh,
so they
that's
had
right.
one, yeah.
That's right.
So
Block
now
in the back.
Yep, now it's 1st and 20. Empty backfield for Ben Davies. Looking to throw. They come back to the near side. Lofts one for Xavier Thomas, and then Thomas doesn't have much room to operate with. Desmond Johnson, the junior cornerback, with a two-hand shove out of bounds. 2nd and long still.
331 yards coming in, 24 catches, 7 touchdowns. So Thomas, not only a deep threat, but good yards after the catch run.
So it's 2nd and 16. They want to throw again. Davies tries to take off running. Now he passes it out here right in front of his own sideline. And it's Xavier Thomas again. Sets up a manageable now 3rd down and 8.
Desmond Johnson defensively right there. Big play for the all clubs on both sides. Reitz looking to sustain the drive. Tigers looking to get the Panthers to punt it away.
Saw Davies think about running on that last play, but he doesn't run all that much. He's got plenty of speed around him.
Comes a blitz.
3rd and 8. Tigers bring the pressure. They almost bring him down. Davies just spirals it out of bounds. And good pressure by the Tigers, as that was Jack Brackett along with Carrick Johnson. Forced the throwaway from Davies, and Reitz will have to punt it away.
Great time to bring the 5 men, actually 6 men, 1-on-1 coverage, and the Tigers will force the first punt of the night for the Reitz Panthers. Kicking away will be Roland Vera.
Yeah, Vera 11 punts this year, averaging 37 yards per boot. And they've got Caleb Elshman along with Hugh Pierce back deep to return for the Tigers around their own 30-yard line. Vera, a clean punt, but a low line drive kick. Just hops out of bounds, so not the best from Vera. Tigers will get it up around the 40-yard line.
They'll mark it at the 37, 38. So just a 21-yard punt.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Pet Food Center, with locations on Evansville's east, west, and north sides, also in Newburgh and Owensboro, Kentucky. Anything you want for your pet, we've got it. Pet Food Center. We'll get to a couple of SIAC scores here after this play for the Tigers. 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Quick pass. It goes to Elsterman, and that goes for nothing. Reitz defense sniffs it out. So some scores throughout the SIAC. Second quarter action. Mater Dei leads Boise 21-0. Harrison on top of Central 7-0. Halftime North on top of Vincennes 10-7. And Jasper is cruising past Castle 28-10.
And logjam in the top half of the conference there. Reitz 6-0, and Castle, Mater Dei, Memorial, and Vincennes all 4-2. North and Jasper 3-3.
Memorial will be at Vincennes next week. Reitz will be right back here taking on Boise. Loss of 3 on that play for the Tigers. It's 2nd and 13. Pass right across the middle, caught by Elsperman, and then he has popped at the 42, 43-yard line. Coming in and laying the boom was Aiden Wells, junior linebacker.
So that makes it a little bit more manageable. 3rd down, 3rd and about 5.
Pfeiffer got credit for the tackle as well. So 3rd and roughly 4.
Ball's on the right hash. A lot of room out here to the left. Maybe they'll roll him to the left.
Porter Road, they try to run it with him and nowhere to go. Loss of a couple. And in for another tackle for loss is Dylan Martin. This Reitz defense has a handful of those here in the first half.
Well, as you talked about, they've come in with a lot of tackle for losses and sacks. And very quick. And they'll bring those linebackers in just about any position. And as a result, they'll be able to come in and come up with a clean tackle. So Road will be punting it away, standing on his own 25.
So Porter Road will kick it away. And flags fly, or at least whistles were blown before the snap. Early movement by the Tigers.
That'll cost them 5. They'll mark them back 5 as Roland Vera will be back to return the punt. for Reitz. Memorial, a 1-yard run and a 15-yard pass. Reitz for their touchdowns. Reitz fumble recover on a black punt in the end zone for their touchdown. Tigers have misfired on both of their extra points.
Vera set to return the punt for Reitz. Road has had one kick block tonight. That resulted in the only score for Reitz. High booming kick, fair catch called by Vera as he backpedals to the 23-yard line. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Reitz Memorial Athletic Booster Club. Join the tradition of supporting Memorial Athletics with the revamped and revitalized Booster Club. Like them on Facebook for more information.
42-yard punt, no return, so the Reitz Panthers will set up 1st and 10. Guess they'll mark it at the 24.
Reitz has Vera now lined up at the quarterback spot. He fakes the handoff, takes off running, and then Vera runs right into the grasp of Kelton Farmer, 4th in tackles on this Memorial team. And it's a gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Vera came in and played quarterback for the Panthers the last couple of weeks.
There's a look at the Tigers starting defense, who has not allowed a score yet tonight. Again, the score for Reitz came on that block punt.
A lot of action. The linebackers, you talked about Carrick Johnson, leading tackler for the Tigers. As Vera played quarterback the last couple of weeks. Burnett, one back in the backfield.
Vera 17 for 29 passing this year, 320 yards. And a flag before this snap, which was 2nd and 8. Maybe some early movement on the right side. Or it could have been an illegal shift. We haven't gotten a signal yet from the white hat.
Somebody lined up off sides. 5 penalties, 60 yards.
Tonight's crew is 3 Schneiders. Dave Schneider is the white hat, Brian Schneider and Evan Schneider, along with Craig Parker and Jeff Crowley. 2nd and 13 from their own 21-yard line. Halfway through the second quarter, Memorial in front 12-7. Roland Vera rolls out to his right on play action under some pressure, dumps it off to a man right in front of him. That is Pfeiffer, and Jakari Pfeiffer is hogtied out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Kept the drive alive, that's for sure.
Lewis Seward ended up bringing him down, and again, just got rid of that football in the nick of time.
Well, Vera comes in 10 of 15 passing for 265 yards.
Third and 4. Burnett lined up as the running back. Vera wants to throw, spins one near side, and he converts Hayden Summers, their leading receiver this year, who came in with 36 catches, picks up the first down, shy of the 40, and the Reitz faithful wanting a flag after the play.
Good delivery, good catch, good pursuit defensively, but it moves the sticks for the Panthers.
On first down, they go to the ground with Burnett, head of steam up the middle. And he collides with Jack Brackett, who is 5th on this Tigers defense in tackles, able to carve out 6 yards. On that carry for Jonas Burnett, the senior, who came in to play tonight, 98 carries, almost 800 yards. He's already had 5 100-plus yard rushing games this year.
Well, Burnett, he's a running tailback, and Carrick Johnson, the linebacker, both of them in middle school were on a junior Olympic track team. They finished 1st and 2nd in the 100 and the 200.
Well, Burnett off the races here in the Tigers' territory. A flag flies in, and he's brought down at the 40, and this might erase the long run by Jonas Burnett.
Well, the flag's at the 45. The line of scrimmage was the 43. So give them a couple, but they'll march it off 10 or 15 more. So except for a 5-yard offsides penalties, major penalties have been a major hurdle for the Reitz Panthers so far.
Did you say it's their 6th?
Yes.
So that'll back them up all the way to the 33-yard line. And what would have been a first down in Tigers territory, now they're staring at a 2nd and long.
Well, Reitz just about when they start getting something going, there's a penalty. Of course, they had 2 big defensive penalties on the Memorial's first drive that allowed them to get 30 yards and down close to scoring.
Vera receives the snap on play action. Playing time in the pocket. Slings it across the middle. And it's incomplete, looking for Jakari Pfeiffer at the midfield stripe. 3rd and long.
3rd and long. Downfield. Look for another pass downfield as well. Again, starting quarterback Ben Davies, who missed a couple games on the sidelines as Roland Vera has come in here in this last couple of possessions.
Well, Davies got his helmet on walking around. He appears to be okay. I don't know if they just felt like he was struggling and they're allowing Vera a chance here.
Look for the same kind of play. Long, deep throw.
3rd and long. Vera, crow hops, slings it near sideline. 101 coverage, jump ball, and it's brought in at the 30-yard line by Xavier Thomas, the 6'2 senior. He went up and ripped it down for a big gain.
From the 33 of Reitz, they'll mark it where? At the 30 of Memorial, so 37 yards. We'll get a chance to see it again. He just goes up and over the defender and picks up a crucial first down. Keeps the drive alive.
Reitz hustles up to the line of scrimmage. Vera heaves it toward the end zone. Going for him again, and it is dropped, but there is a flag. It's going to be a pass interference against Memorial, as that was Dasmond Johnson going after Xavier Thomas. They were going to Thomas on back-to-back plays.
Unlike pros where it's the spot of the foul, it's 15 yards, but it'll be another first down. And it'll move it into the red zone. Two big plays back-to-back. 2 long pass plays. And that pass for 37, it's either incomplete, intercepted, or an outstanding grab. So 2 big plays, a block punt and a 37-yard pass, giving Reitz a chance to take the lead back.
Panthers inside the red zone. On the ground, Burnett running right side. He'll lose yards. Swarm of blue jerseys around him.
McGuire and Farmer, Kelton.
Kelton Farmer normally in on the action. 4th on the team in tackles, 2nd tackles for loss. And they lose 2 on that carry.
Well, both these teams coming in ranked both in the Associated Press and the Indiana Football Coaches Association. As in the AP, Reitz was 8th, Memorial 11th, and the coaches, Reitz 9th, and the Tigers 14th.
See if they go back to the arrow attack. They've been targeting Xavier Thomas on this drive. He's on the far side of your screen. Vera looking that way, flings it toward Thomas in the end zone. It's brought in. Touchdown Panthers. Xavier Thomas, his 8th touchdown catch of the season. Reitz back on top.
Great catch. Great throw. Put it where only Thomas could come up with it. So how long was that? 17?
Yes.
So a big 37-yarder and a 17-yarder score. And Reitz is going to go for 2. We'll get a chance to look at this again. Caught it at the top of the pass. And Reitz trying to go up by 2.
Well, Memorial's got too many guys on the field. They're trying to get off in time. They're all out of sorts. Now they regroup. That was a wild scene. Now the Tigers wisely call a timeout. We'll keep it here, as Reitz has jumped back out in front, 13-12, and thanks in large part to Xavier Thomas. He's 6'2", but he plays much taller than that with great athletic ability, and he went up and got a couple of catches. And really, from the Memorial side defensively, Sam Nichols twice was in good coverage. Thomas just made a better play.
That's why both the teams practice hard. That's why both of them are state-ranked teams. And a good decision by Corey Brunson to bring in Vera on these last couple possessions for Reitz. And he was able to get the ball up in the air and come up with a big score. First offensive touchdown of the night for the Panthers.
Well, in the broadcast tonight and throughout the year, we've been working with Telemetry Sports for more than 6 years. Telemetry Sports has been working with the NFL and multiple college football teams as a data and technology provider. Players' speeds and accelerations that they are providing us is generated using computer vision, the same technology as autonomous vehicles. Reitz goes for 2 here. Trying to at least go up a field goal. Vera goes under center. They load up the left side.
Unbalanced left.
They give it to the man in motion, Hayden Summers, trying to squeeze through, and he cannot. 2-point conversion fails, and so the lead is 1 for Reitz. 13-12. We'll take a break with 3:03 to go in the second quarter here on IndianaSRN.
Welcome to The Book Broker, your go-to business for any collectibles that you may require. Founded in 1975, we provide our services throughout Evansville, Indiana, and the surrounding areas. We specialize in comic books, sports cards, games and videos, and much more. With a knowledgeable and committed team, we strive for excellence and provide quality services. Throughout the Evansville area, we are the go-to used bookstore for books and video games or sports cards and vinyl records, and we make sure that you get the services that you need. As a used bookstore that specializes in collectibles, we offer a variety of products to fit everyone in the family, making sure that you get the most out of every dollar spent. For more information, call 812-479-5647 or stop by our website for more information. Come in today and escape your reality.
Eight-play drive for the Reitz Panthers, 76 yards. They took off 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Xavier Thomas was the go-to man on that drive, a 37-yard catch on 3rd and long, and then a 17-yard touchdown catch, 2-point try. Failed, 13-12 Reitz. Tigers will get the football back, and
3 straight plays, a 37-yard catch, a 15-yard interference penalty.
That's right.
And a 17-yard catch. So that was all Vera and Thomas.
Short kick returned around the 30-yard line by Elsterman. Now he cuts it upfield. In between the 35 and 40-yard line, that was Luke Elsterman, the sophomore. And a chance for the Tigers to put together a drive and maybe take a lead into the halftime break. Reitz will get the football to start the third quarter.
Mark it at the Memorial 38-yard line. Well, last week, Reitz and Castle were 10-10 at half. Now it's a 1-point Reitz advantage, so they played close games. We'll have to see what the halftime adjustments will be.
Empty backfield here for Matthew Fisher. 5 wide receivers set. Fisher gets it out quickly. Near side, Hugh Pierce jets out of bounds at the 42 or 43-yard line, a pickup of about 5.
Just a long handoff. Good job there that time. Punched out of bounds there.
Pierce in his senior season, right around 20 catches. He had a touchdown grab on 4th down in this quarter. Also, if the Tigers want to move the football a little bit and not give it back to Reitz here in this half. On play action, zipping it quickly, Leo Collins turns it upfield, and he gets tangled at the 47 or 48-yard line, and here comes a flag after the play against Reitz. It'll be another personal foul, and
well, Braden Hudson stops him for a short gain, but then after the play was over, The referee will march off 15 against Reitz.
Well, somebody went flying well after the whistle. Whether or not that was fabricated or not, I don't know. But officials deemed it was unnecessary, and that takes the Tigers into Reitz territory at the 37-yard line.
Unofficially, 7 penalties for 90 yards against Reitz so far. Memorial has 3 for 30.
Yeah, they've been big penalties.
Reitz looking out, look at it. They line up 10 guys within 3 or 4 yards of the line of scrimmage.
And in motion is Elsterman. Coming to the near side, 35-yard line, and Elsterman tiptoes out of bounds. And a flag comes in from 35 yards away again.
Right fans right below our broadcast vantage point saying that it should have been against Memorial, and it is. It'll be a hold from the 37 to the 47.
So now it's 1st and long. It'll be 1st and 20. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the first half. It's been an entertaining first 24 minutes on homecoming night for Memorial. Tigers trying to hand the Panthers their first loss of the season. Under pressure is Fisher. Still scrambling, surveying, and he just throws it out of bounds. Wise move by the sophomore. The right secondary had it covered well.
They blitzed a backside linebacker coming in untouched. We've seen that a lot tonight by the Reitz defense. Bring up a 2nd down and long. Still plenty of time, 2:20 before halftime.
You talked about it during the pregame and even before the broadcast we went on. Reitz, they bring pressure from all different places, don't they?
Yeah, sometimes from the school, the team bus, I think.
Seems like sometimes they have 15 guys out there.
Well, when you're big and quick, that's what happens.
It's a Reitz defense that really struggled the last few years, but they've got some more talent now defensively. They've been flying around the football. 2nd and long. The pass goes across the middle. Elsterman can't hang on. It's an incomplete pass.
Great job causing the incomplete was Braden Hudson. We've called his name a lot.
Now, the Reitz faithful thought it was a fumble. It wasn't even close to a fumble. It's incomplete, 3rd and 20.
Of course, you did radio the last 3 years of the Reitz Panthers, so
Yeah.
you've seen Reitz. You've seen Corey Brunson's team is again well chronicled that they've kind of struggled and under sub 500 records, but not this year.
Well, you knew Coach Brunson eventually would turn it around, and really I thought the last 2 years their offense was good enough to compete. It was just the defense that was the weakness of the team. They couldn't stop other teams in big spots, but offensively they've been talented really the last 2 years under Coach Brunson, and now putting all the pieces together. 3rd and 20. Fisher in the pocket, pump fakes, scrambles, and he is wrestled to the ground for another sack. Levi Oxley, he came in with 7 sacks on the season. That is best on this Reitz defense. I think Coach Brunson wants to use a timeout here. Clock stops with 2:04.
Here you see Oxley, the defenseman. That's his, at least 2nd sack, maybe his 3rd. He just comes out, beats the lineman, and greets Fisher and throws him to the ground.
So Reitz does burn one of their timeouts. They still have 2 in their back pocket, and with how quickly the Panthers offense works, they have more than enough time to maybe get one more score. And again, they have an excellent field goal kicker in Kiefer Sanderson, who has made one from 40 yards this year. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by The Book Broker. At The Book Broker, you can buy new and used comics, sports cards, and sports memorabilia. Get your favorite gaming and video games, and also Blu-ray and DVDs. Of course, the name says that you can get books at The Book Broker, located at 2717 Covert Avenue in Evansville.
With that sack, it's 4th down, so that'll bring up a punt situation.
Well, after that opening drive from the Tigers, well, they just waltzed right down the field. The Reitz defense has responded well since.
Yeah, you're right there. They not a lot of yardage, and a lot of that yardage was on Reitz penalties.
So the Tigers need a good punt here from Porter Road. Vera, a dangerous return Man is back for Reitz. Road gets it away, angles it to the left side of the field, head of steam, Vera 35-40, and Vera is brought down from behind. And the Panthers will get fairly good field position with just under 2 minutes to go before halftime.
Alex Brochures, he gets it at the 28 and returns it to the, 45? So 17-yard return. A punt of 30 yards. So with 1:56 to go, we'll see Coach Brunson. He's going to like to have the 2-minute offense at its best.
I think Coach Brunson is drooling at the mouth right now. He loves these situations. 2 minute, no huddle, let's go. Roland on play action nearly ran into Burnett. Looking to crow hop into one. Gets excellent protection. Now hums one near sideline and underthrows his intended target, Hayden Summers, at second down.
It was Seward coming in and putting pressure. Seward, one of the defenders for the Tigers, who's done a nice job. I think he leads in tackles for losses, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Best thing about that play is it stops the clock with 1:48 to go.
Okay, the man to circle on your screen is Xavier Thomas. He is lined up to the far side. Hayden Summers to the near side. Quarterback Vera fakes the handoff, takes off running, spins out of a couple of tackles, and does get positive yardage. The 48-yard line, a pickup of 4, and it's third down. Clock moving with 90 seconds to go.
I don't know if he went back to pass and saw defenders coming at him and stepped up.
Sam Brackett, senior linebacker, got credit for that last tackle. Panthers milking some of the clock because you don't want to give it right back to Memorial. And you still have 2 timeouts in your back pocket, so there's really no reason to rush. And jumping off sides, couple of Tigers in blue. That was Lewis Seward, one of the guys that jumped off sides. Jack Cassidy along with him.
Doesn't give him a first down, but makes it more manageable.
Does take him to Tigers territory at the 48. Third and a couple.
Clock running under a minute.
Vera fakes the handoff. He's got a blocker out here. 45-yard line. Vera to the 40. Vera to the 30. It's going to come back, though, as a flag came in. Another hold.
Near the line of scrimmage.
So that erases the big gain.
Sound like a broken record here, Jevin, but they've reached the century mark in penalties in the first half. 8. Of course, Memorial, they've got 5 for 45. So they're on pace for 100.
I'm not sure penalties ever really come at a good time, but they come after big plays or big situations. We haven't had too many just like 5-yard false start penalties.
Well, what worked for Reitz on the last touchdown drive was 9-1.
So now it's 3rd and 9 from their own 45-yard line. Clock still moving, 35 seconds to go. Reitz with 2 timeouts.
Double coverage on Thomas here.
Vera in the pocket, steps up, throws it across the middle, and it is caught down at the 20-yard line. Leaking out there is Hayden Summers. And the Panthers are in field goal range as Coach Brunson sprinting down the field, calling a timeout, stops the clock with 25 seconds. And here's a look at that last play. Summers 6'3".
Thomas takes it 2 defenders, so that opens it up for Summers. And Summers got a nice job. I tell you what, Vera is throwing the ball very well here since he's returned to quarterback here in the early stages of the second quarter. Another long pass.
Well, they're in a spot now where with Xavier Thomas and Hayden Summers, I have a couple of shots at the end zone here inside of 30 seconds to go in the half.
And Kiefer Sanderson's 4 for 4 on field goals this year, longest of 40. So a lot of options. The playbook is completely open. And the Memorial Tigers defense being asked one more time. Well, Reitz comes in, throwing about 12,000 or 1,200 yards coming into the game, and as a team, and they're on pace to beat that average. All right, here we go.
Impressive this year. 17 passing touchdowns, 17 rushing touchdowns as well to go those offensive numbers. So, again, just a balanced attack all the way around. Vera on 1st and 10. Heaves it toward the end zone. 101 coverage, and this pass is picked off in the end zone. It is Sam Nichols, his 3rd INT of the season. Xavier Thomas got him on a couple of drives ago, and this time Nichols gets even with an interception in the end zone.
One too many times to the well. This time Nichols had position against Thomas and stops a key drive just 18 seconds before halftime.
I think the Tigers will be pretty conservative here with 18 seconds. Just one timeout. You're backed up into Reitz territory. And if you're Memorial to go into the locker room down just a point after that final sequence, you'll take it. It'll be a quarterback kneel down. And that play will take us to halftime. So as expected, a very competitive first half here at Inlow Field between two of the top teams in Class 4A, Reitz Panthers and the Memorial Tigers. Reitz with a 13-12 halftime lead. And let's recap all the scoring for you. The game started with Memorial going 11 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 45 seconds, capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run from Porter Road. PAT was missed, so it was 6-0 with 7:15 to go in the first quarter. Reitz got their first score thanks to a blocked punt. PAT was made with 2:22 to go in the first quarter. Reitz led 7-6. Memorial retook the lead early second quarter after a fumble by the Panthers' Hayden Summers. The Tigers went 8 plays, 26 yards, 2 minutes and 28 seconds. It was a 4th and 12 from the 15-yard line, and Hugh Pierce made the touchdown catch after a low snap to Fisher, had to scramble, found Pierce, and they went for 2, failed to make it, so it was 12-7 Tigers early second quarter. And the last score of the half came from Xavier Thomas on the right side, a 17-yard touchdown catch, capping off an 8-play, 76-yard drive. And they went for 2 as well, failed to make it. And so that is why it is 13-12 Reitz here at halftime. Mike, kind of your thoughts from this first half.
Well, Braylon Hudson was the man I had blocking the punt, and falling on it in the end zone was Caleb Utley. So that missed opportunities, probably missed opportunities because of penalties for both teams, and taking advantage of some opportunities defensively once for Memorial on offense, the block punt, but the Tigers come away with 2 takeaways. So all in all, both teams coming in highly ranked, and both teams trying to defend their turf.
Halftime scores real quick throughout the SIAC. North leads Vincennes 10-7. Jasper on top of Castle 28-13. And these other 2 games are still in the second quarter. Harrison leads Central 28-6, and Mater Dei shutting out Bosse 21-0. Here at Inlow Field, it is Reitz 13, Memorial 12. We'll take a break on IndianaSRN.
Never miss a big game by downloading the IHSAA TV app for free on any device. For your iPhone or Apple TV, check the App Store. On your Android or Android TV device, load up the Google Play Store. Have a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick? We have the app for you. Check us out on Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube Live by searching for IHSAA TV. Or as always, click to IHSAATV.org for quick and easy access to your favorite IHSAA live and archived events.
You're good at making big announcements.
We're having
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
You want a career that fuels your passion for sports and physical activity. IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences offers that and more. You'll have insider access to sports, fitness, and exercise science professionals and learn from faculty with years of industry experience. And with Indy as your classroom, you'll study next to world-class sports facilities, Olympic governing bodies, the NCAA, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sports industry career. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year. Come on, get your head out of your sacks. Shh, we're trying to hear. Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites. Woo!
My kid earned that solo!
You see mine did? Yeah!
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
Sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at Coach.
School football fans, welcome back to Friday nights. To pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Like a secret. I was raised about 20 miles from here and never even knew this place was here. We make NFL footballs year-round. We manufactured the ball for every Super Bowl, and every point scored in the NFL since 1941 has been scored with a Wilson football. Jane was the longest tenured employee when she retired.
I would get up at about 3:30 in the morning to be on the job at 5 a.m. I had to oil up my machine every day. I could sew about 150 footballs a day. A football is made from a big piece of leather. It's cut out like a cookie cutter, and that panel is split down to a certain size. They're stamped with a logo, and then there's a lining that's put on it to hold the shape of the ball. When I get the football, it's in 4 panels. There's the top 2 panels, those 2 are sewed together, leaving the opening. Then I sew the bottom 2 panels together. After the lace holes are punched and the seam are pounded down, then I sew the full section together. The rule of thumb is you don't make a good football sewer until you run a needle through your finger. One time the needle just slid up underneath the foot, stuck in my finger. They put an ice pack on it, took me to the doctor, he cut it out, and I went back to work the rest of the afternoon. I'm tough. The turner gets the nice job of turning it right side out. Then it goes to the lacer, he or she, puts a bladder in it and then laces it. After it goes to the lacer, it's molded. Then the ball is ready to be inspected.
Sewing the football together is probably the most important quality.
All I ever wanted was to feel loved. He said he loved me. My friends told me it wasn't a big deal. They thought he was so cool, but they didn't know what he wanted me to do.
All I ever wanted was to feel loved. You have no idea the kind of pressure I felt to take things to the next level. Things were moving so fast. I was basically the only person in the freshman class who hadn't done it yet. So we did.
I loved him.
I thought she loved me.
My health class had CPR at school. I stayed after class to talk with the instructor about it. They showed me that it didn't have to be that way.
They showed me that I get to make my own choices.
There is another way.
That's the best thing CPR gives you. Another way. A better way.
A healthy way. Sometimes you don't see it because you're in your own world, but they don't make you feel bad. They talk to you like a real person, and they save kids from really unhealthy decisions. They tell the truth, and they know what they're talking about. So yeah, my life was different. I started to choose the better way.
I honestly don't know where I'd be or what I'd be doing had it not been for CPR.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
We're back at Enlow Field in Evansville, Indiana at halftime, where the Evansville Memorial Tigers trail the Reitz Panthers by a 13-12 score. As you can see on the screen, we have homecoming activities going on. And here up within our broadcast area is the athletic director for Evansville Memorial, Matt Weber. Well, Matt, you've been on both sides of a homecoming game. You've coached in football and basketball at Memorial. And you've also, now as the athletic director, not only responsible for football going on tonight and our coverage of football here on IndianaSRN.org, but all the sports. But just kind of share with us a little bit about the nice crowd that we have here at homecoming.
It's great, and I can remember reading a book by Tony Dungy. He said you always had to look at the
corners of the stadium to really see how crowded it was. And if you look up in those corners tonight, it's packed there too. So it's great to see a great crowd back out. I think it's come back even better than before COVID, which would have been 2019. And this is probably the biggest crowd we've had in a regular season game in a long time. And our gate people felt it. I know that. A $6 ticket price, there's a lot of ones exchanged back for change. And I know we're running around and moving that around. And, it provides some challenges, but it's good to see people back. And I know parking's an issue, but parking's an issue everywhere if it's a big game. So I'd rather be all these people here than nobody here. I know that.
I guess problems can be a problem, but when you got good problems like that, you can certainly deal with it here tonight. As both teams playing very good close football here, and looking for another good 24 minutes of action. Well, not only football in the fall, but a lot of other sports. Kind of bring us up to date. I know some of the sports are in tournament play. Some have completed, and some of them about ready to start.
Yeah, first one that really enters the tournament play is golf, girls golf. We were able to advance to the regional, went up there and played up at Washington at Country Oaks. Looking at boys tennis, won a sectional yesterday out of North High School, hosted by Bossies. But, yeah, we won a sectional there. We'll get girls soccer. Boys soccer will get ramped up next week. We host the girls soccer. Boys soccer will be up at Heritage Hills. Cross country, looking at that, going to city conference meet is tomorrow at Angel Mounds. And then following week will be sectionals there. So it's all gearing up towards the the fun time of year, if you think about it, in the tournament play. And the IHSAA does a great job of putting on those events, no matter what the sport is, and it really gives those kids a great opportunity in high school athletics.
Put in a lot of time, a lot of effort to run an athletic program, no matter where you're at. But certainly Memorial has been successful in a lot of different sports throughout the fall, the winter, and the spring. Just kind of share with our listeners and our alumni and our friends listening, what are some of the key responsibilities as an athletic director?
Well, I always say every morning I get in, I look exactly what game we have that night, and I want to make sure the officials are coming. After that, I want to make sure my gate workers are coming. And really, even before the gate workers, whoever's keeping the clock, depending on the sport, make sure that's taken care of. Then I go to gate. Then I finally worry about concessions and just confirm everybody. And, I get a lot of response from officials like, you don't have to text us all the time. I'm like, well, very first event I hosted, I did not have an official show up. And as a coach, that always drove me nuts. So that's kind of my pet peeve. I'm going to make sure they're all there, or at least tell me they're not going to be there. Tell me they're going to be there. So, and since then, I haven't had that mistake. So, I do like confirming with everybody, and there's a lot of computer programs that do that, but I just don't trust that completely. I guess that's me being some of my OCD coming out, but I like to see that response from an official saying, yes, confirmed, I will be there. So
Matt Weber, the athletic director at Memorial. We are at halftime where Memorial is a 1-point trailer to Reitz. We'll give you the floor here. One final thought. Get to share anything you want with our listeners and our alumni and our friends.
Well, the feedback we've gotten off of doing this stream is kind of what I talked to a few guys in the first quarter. And everybody talks about how it's going to hurt attendance. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think it gives, we got a lot of grandparents I know live in your warmer states, whether it's Florida and Arizona. I've received feedback from them. A lot of our alumni that live out, I've heard some from California, it's Virginia, and it's names. There's names we know and that we've kept contact with, and new names that we've got contact with now that have been maybe dormant for 10 to 20 years. So it's helped us to reach out to a fan base, and we're lucky in the school we have and the people that go to school move on to successful places. And sometimes that's outside of Evansville, and they do like being a part of it. It gives them a chance to feel a part of Memorial again and to see their Tigers on TV. And that's a credit to – it was Coach Hurley's idea. And, Mike, we pitched it to you, and you've run with it. And it's something we hope to continue. definitely on the football side and maybe expand into some other sports next year. So,
Matt Weber, appreciate you taking the time from your busy responsibilities, athletic director, especially here at Homecoming. We'll be back with second half action right after these messages.
Students love Reitz Memorial.
Memorial helps me find the right rhythm on stage and in my education. I believe in developing my craft. I believe in building a community. And now, I believe I can hit the right notes in all aspects of life.
Showcase your talents at Reitz Memorial.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year. Come on, get your head out of your sacks. Shh, we're trying to hear. Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid earned that solo!
You saying I did?
Yeah!
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Just about ready for the start of the second half here at Enloe Field. It's been a fun one so far. 13-12, Reitz leads by a point alongside Mike Scavara. I'm Jevin Redmond, and we expected an entertaining night of football, and so far the first half did not disappoint.
When you look at both of these teams and what they've accomplished this year, Reitz coming in to 6-0, on top of the Southern Indiana Athletic Conference, and Memorial tied with Vincennes, Mater Dei, and Castle two games back. You anticipated, and especially Reitz has played well all year. Memorial is, after their first two losses, as you chronicled at the beginning, have come back and played strongly this last month of the season. It ought to be an interesting second half. Always adjustments at halftime. I'm sure Coach Brunson says, hey, guys, don't let's pick up so many penalties. And Memorial's going to certainly say, look at keeping the passing down. We've got Vera unofficially 5 of 8 for 106 yards.
Well, I was going to ask about the defensive adjustments for the Tigers, but really they only allowed one score in that first half. Came up with a couple of big turnovers, but let's talk about offensively for the Tigers. Quarterback Fisher has been under pressure quite a bit tonight. What adjustments are you looking for?
The only thing you can do is maybe put two backs in the backfield, but that limits your offense, and tighten down your splits a little bit. But when you do that, a lot of the pressure from Reitz has come from the outside. So if you want to do that, you might have to open up, widen your splits. But if you do that, you can get some inside blitz. So pick your poison. Offensively, they've been able to get to the outside. Early, they were able to run up the middle. Maybe if make some adjustments where they can get that. But give a credit to Coach Brunson and his staff. They adjusted a little bit. They brought their defensive tackles down a little tighter and brought their outside linebackers in a little tighter, and that took away the inside run game.
Do want to touch bases on something because I misspoke earlier that Pate Barrett is not kicking tonight for Memorial, so some question marks in their kicking game. It's been Joseph Hinkie. I guess Pate Barrett got injured earlier this week, so my apologies on that.
I did say I saw a 43 out there, but again, a lot of times in our broadcast for a game, picking up special teams numbers. So Joseph Hinkie will be kicking off for the Tigers. Second half action ready to begin.
Panthers will get the football first, trying to move to 7-0 tonight. Line drive kick returned from the 10, jetting up the far sideline 30, and brought down just past the 30-yard line. And that is Burnett on the return for the Panthers. Again, Reitz was in position to score right before the end of the first half. An interception from Sam Nichols in the end zone. Him and Xavier Thomas were going at it. Nichols got his third INT of the season and kept it a 1-point game.
Memorial's still going to come back out with their 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, as they'll be in 4 in the secondary. 1 back offense, 2 receivers on each side to start offensively for Reitz.
Hand off to Burnett on the first play of the second half, and he glides up the middle. Gets a healthy gain of about 7 for Jonas Burnett.
Just kind of test to see if what any adjustments, if any, Coach Brunson did against the Memorial defense. And, when you want to pick up 7 yards each time, that's not bad. But, again, when you look at Burnett, all he is the number 1 rusher in the conference coming in.
Vera fakes it to Burnett. He keeps it himself. He's got the first down and more. Just shy of the midfield stripe is Roland Vera.
McGuire in on the stop. That's the option, the first option after faking to Burnett and Vera keeping it. And it looks like he's had some equipment taken away from him, so he'll throw it to the sidelines and go without. It's like a fanny pack there. First down for Reitz.
So back-to-back runs, 1 from Burnett, 1 from Vera. Just shy of the midfield stripe on first down, and they go back to Burnett up the middle and into Tigers territory, a gain of 4. That's what Memorial did on the first drive of the game. Kept it on the ground, went 11 plays, 80 yards, and scored.
Jack Brackett on the stop. Now, they might have decided at halftime, we're just going to go power on power. We're going to let our running game do our talking.
Burnett came in averaging 8 yards per carry, 131 yards per game. Second down. Vera fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. He slithers out of 1 tackle. That was Carrick Johnson who missed the tackle after what would have been a short gain. Turns into a gain of about 5, 3rd and 1.
Well, this drive starts on the Panther 30. They're already in Tiger territory in 4 plays.
Take a quick look at it to make sure it wasn't a first down, and it's 3rd and probably less than a yard. 4 wide receivers set to each side. Everything has been on the ground so far. Again, it's Burnett. And he is brought down for a loss of a yard. Soaring in to make that tackle was Joey Collins.
Collins, a nice job from his defensive end spot. Was able to roll him down, and Collins coming up with the stop. As for him, tackles on the loss on the year, that's number 6.
Yeah, Collins came in 3rd in that category as he adds to it there. And a big play early here in the 3rd quarter. Reitz will go for it, 4th and 1.
Do you fake the run and go for it all?
Single wide receiver near side is Hayden Summers. Vera wants to run, and he got tripped up, diving forward, picks up the first down. He got to the 40, kept that knee off the turf. Good effort by Vera.
A good second effort will keep this drive alive.
Now everything's been on the ground. I'm kind of waiting for that big shot. They line up with a 4 wide receiver set. See if it comes here. Play action, quick pass near side. It was a high throw, and going up and bringing it down was Xavier Thomas. Loss of a couple.
Right there was Desmond Johnson on the stop. Draper and Jack Brackett. So that's a pass, quick pass out in the flat, and a loss of a couple.
Again, this is the opening drive of the third quarter for Reitz as they lead by 1. Vera to Burnett, right up the gut. He jets through, and then he is yanked to the turf by Carrick Johnson, a linebacker, at the 35-yard line. Gain of 7, and it's 3rd and 5. Saw Reitz go very up-tempo and quick in the first half. More of a conservative pace here to start the third quarter. They burned over 4 minutes on this drive. They converted a 4th and 1. Now they have a 3rd and 5.
Reverse.
And around this is Summers. He's got a couple of blockers out there. Summers tries to squeeze through, and he pinballs his way to the 30-yard line. That's right around the first down marker. He needed 5, and I think he got enough.
He had a convoy of blockers out there. Comes all the way from the right flanker side, going to the left. And it's a first down. Power on power so far in this possession to come out of the locker room for Reitz. Let's go back to basics.
Yep. 1st and 10. Another run with Burnett. Got out of a tackle in the backfield. Ends up getting positive yards. Gain of about 3 for Jonas Burnett.
Burnett's got that second and third gear speed. Gets to the outside. Tough guy to bring down.
He's so elusive that you just wait for him to break one. And a couple of lengthy runs that have been called back tonight with a hold. 2nd and 6. Still opening drive of this second half. Burnett up the middle, has some space, 20. Burnett near side 10. Burnett angling toward the pylon. He's out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. A gain of over 20 yards for Jonas Burnett.
I had him from the 25. Just great acceleration to the second level. As we see Burnett gets the handoff. Right up the middle, cuts out to the outside. And almost outruns a defender. They'll roll him out at the 2.
That was one of those runs I was talking about, waiting for him to break one. Again, Burnett's had 5 games this year with 100 or more yards on the ground, and Reitz in position to score opening up this third quarter. They bring in Aiden Frey, a 6'3 senior, 275.
Bodie Presley, one of the offensive linemen, comes out.
They're trying to load up for the run, which they have done the majority of this drive.
They're going a stacked I, triple I formation.
Vera under center.
Oxley.
They hand off. Oxley right up the middle. Touchdown, Panthers. Pretty well all on the ground. Reitz marches down the field to open up the third quarter with a score. And they lead by 7 now. Coach Brunson holding up one finger. They'll kick the PAT. That was a 13-play drive by Reitz.
Eats up nearly half of the third quarter. 5 minutes and 25 seconds to be exact.
Big PAT here for Kiefer Sanderson, who is 23 for 26 on PATs. Big because it would make it an 8-point game and force Memorial to get a 2-point conversion. Kick on the way, nearly blocked, but he sneaks it through. So Reitz scores on their opening drive of the third quarter. They're in front 20-12, halfway through the third quarter here on IndianaSRN.
Students love Reitz Memorial.
Memorial helps me find the right rhythm on stage and in my education. I believe in developing my craft.
I believe in building a community.
And now, I believe I can hit the right notes in all aspects of life.
Showcase your talents at Reitz Memorial.
Not a bad drive for the visitors to open up this half. 13 plays, 70 yards, 5 minutes and 25 seconds. Here's the ensuing kickoff, and it skips out of bounds. Wise choice over there by Caleb Elsterman to watch it hop out of bounds. And that scoring drive was not highlighted, but capped off by Levi Oxley, a 1-yard touchdown run, his second rushing score of the season. PAT was good. 20-12 Reitz, and here comes a big offensive possession from a momentum perspective for the Tigers.
Reitz looking to get a 3-and-out and keep possession. I had unofficially Memorial having 14 minutes and 7 seconds with the ball in the first half. 9:53, so that's probably another stat that Coach Brunson and his staff looked at. The penalty is 25 yards from wherever it's kicked when it goes out of bounds. So if they would have kicked it from the 50, then the ball would have been marked up even further.
The drive starts from the 35-yard line. Tigers offense has been on the sideline for this whole third quarter so far. It's a 4-wide receiver set. The give is to Porter Road. Road stutter steps and cuts it in between the tackles. Backpedaling past the 40 to the 42-yard line. It's a gain of 8 for Porter Road. He had some success in the first quarter, but has been quiet since.
That's how the Tigers, they were looked at. They said, well, we went right down and scored on our first possession. Why not try to replicate that?
Road, a 5'9" junior, 185 pounds. Same formation, but now Road moves to the left of Fisher. Gave the hard count, now looks toward the Tigers sideline. Halfway through this third quarter, play clock down to 10. Play action, pass goes across the middle. It's Hugh Pierce, and he carries a tackler into Panthers territory, and they mark him down at the 47-yard line. First down, Tigers.
Yeah, Pierce lines up in the slot there and just takes the quick pass. A fresh set of downs, they move it into Panther territory.
Pierce had a 15-yard touchdown catch on 4th and 12 in the first half. That put the Tigers in front, 12-7, but since Reitz has scored 13 unanswered points.
They put Collins in the slot.
Fisher on play action, spins one far sideline, bobbled and dropped by Caleb Elsterman. Throw was just below his waist, and he couldn't haul it in. So it's 2nd and 10 now for the Tigers.
3 receivers out to the left. Collins gets one-on-one coverage to the top of the screen.
Road up the middle, some space, and he lowers his shoulder, getting to the 40-yard line. Aggressive running from a Porter Road. Sets up a 3rd and short. Well, he makes those tacklers pay sometimes, does Porter Road.
Well, Dylan Martin did a nice job coming up and making the stop. Get 3 down linemen, and then they line up 5 linebackers about 2-3 yards deep. So really, you've got an 8-man front, and then they put their cornerbacks out on an island, man on man, and they'll go one single safety.
Big 3rd down here for the Tigers. Road gets that first down, stumbling forward to the 35. It's a 5-yard gain for Road. He has had a more efficient series this time to open up the third quarter. This is the Tigers' first offensive drive.
Looks like both coaches in their respective locker rooms says we're just going to kind of keep it on the ground and pound, and let's see what we can do.
This has been a very quick-moving third quarter. Already 4.5 minutes to go.
might see a fake here.
On play action, Fisher has a man open, Collins at the 30-yard line. Leo takes it, and he's chucked out of bounds at the 25. Collins was just kind of trying to be very animated to get Fisher's attention to say, I'm wide open, and finally he noticed him.
Well, Fisher had an opportunity to run, but, Coach Hurley doesn't really like Fisher running a lot.
Remember, he got clobbered on that rushing touchdown at Harrison a few weeks ago, and I think Coach Hurley said, don't do that again.
That's right. And it's good for the first down.
Right at about 10 yards on that completion to Collins.
Well, I had Reitz 5 first downs on the opening drive of the second half. The Tigers 3 here, starting from their own 35.
Single wide receiver far side is Leo Collins. This is Rode with one stiff arm, but he can't get out of the tackle. First man in there to make contact was Dylan Martin, the 5'10 senior. Loss of 1.
And what makes it second and long there, it kind of limits your options. Ball's on the right hash mark, so if you roll left, it's a tough throw for a quarterback. So we roll under 4 minutes here in this third quarter.
Fisher was under quite a bit of pressure throwing in the first half. Reitz brought the heat and got to the sophomore, and I thought at times the sophomore handled it well, made a few good throws. The player's breathing down his neck, but haven't really seen that deep threat yet here tonight from the Tigers. Second and long, they pitch it out here to Rode looking for a block. Rode at the 25-yard line, and he gets twisted out of bounds. About every run, the Panthers are faithful pleading for a hold. They don't get it there, and it's third down.
That time, there's just a quick pitch, actually unbalanced left that time with 3 receivers out there. 4 down territory, ball at the 21.
Approaching the red zone here at the 21-yard line. Here's a look at Rode on that last carry.
Just ran out of real estate there. Couldn't cut it upfield.
3rd and 6. Fisher looking to throw. He has all kinds of time in the pocket. Shuffles to his right. Throws it end zone. Wide open. Touchdown Tigers. Hugh Pierce for the second time tonight. 21-yard connection.
A crossing pattern with Caleb Elsperman and Hugh Pierce. And the defenders went with Caleb Elsperman. Here's our replay. Watch top of the screen there. Caleb go out. Pierce comes inside. Fisher finds him all alone in the back of the end zone. Tigers going to have to go for 2.
One of the few times Fisher had some time to throw as well tonight. Tigers go for 2, trying to tie it up. They give it to Porter Rode, and he will not make it. So the Tigers have really struggled this year on 2-point conversions, and they fail again here, and they're still down by 2. 20-18 with 3:23 to go in the third quarter. Great Week 7 matchup here at Inlow Field.
Want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
One possession each side here in the third quarter and one score on each side. It's 20-18, Reitz +2 late third quarter. Here is the kickoff returning from the 11-yard line. The speedster Burnett tries to get up that far sideline, and he gets right around the 27-yard line. That's where the Reitz offense will start. And let's recap the last scoring drive for the Tigers, brought to you by Simplicity Furniture. They are located at 1309 North Green River Road in Evansville. Have fun shopping for furniture with the Coslets, Father Pat and Sons Chase and Kelsey. 11 plays, 65 yards, 3 minutes and 12 seconds. It was a 21-yard touchdown pass to Hugh Pierce, his second touchdown grab of the night.
Great acceleration there as Ben Ziemer in on the special teams tackle. As Reitz will take over 1st and 10 on their own 27.
Roland Vera still in there at quarterback. He gives it to Burnett. Burnett cuts it in between the hash marks, and he cruises past the 35. Gain of about 9 for Jonas Burnett. He's starting to gain larger chunks of yards.
Great acceleration. And we've said it several times, or at least I have anyway. That's why he's the leading rusher in the conference.
Second and short. Vera comes toward the Panthers sideline. He's got the first down and much more. He tiptoes just shy out of bounds of the 50, or just shy of the 50. And that's been their trend, is going to Burnett on first down. He gets a healthy amount of yards, and then Vera fakes it and keeps it himself.
Well, running quarterbacks the last 3 weeks now have been tough for the Memorial defense, both Harrison and Bossy and now Reitz. Quarterbacks have been able to get into the outside.
Back to Burnett. Not much this time. Shut off just past the line of scrimmage. 1 yard gain.
Shows why Kelton Farmer is a 2-time state finalist in the 220-pound wrestling division, because he just grabs Burnett, and it's a 2-point takedown.
Very well built, 6'4", 245. He's a slim 245. That's all muscle. Sets up 2nd and 9, able to contain Burnett there on that carry.
You see these run. You run, all of a sudden, a pass deep.
Well, this is Burnett, though. He explodes to the line of the 40. Burnett gets a block here near sideline, and he is shoved out of bounds around the 20. Jonas Burnett coming to life here in the third quarter, and the Panthers are set up once again.
Another rushing first down. They've got 7 first downs all on the ground. This goes from the 49-yard line. Watch Burnett get through the hole, quick acceleration, then kicks out to the outside, gets a good outside block, and then just rushes down the sidelines. Finally gets pushed out of bounds by Draper as they get it just outside the red zone, a 30-yard pickup.
Vera keeps it himself after faking the handoff, and he's inside the red zone now, down to the 14. It's a gain of 7, so Reitz is gaining large chunks of yards on their first down plays here in the second half.
If you're keeping stats, it's 34-9, doing all the heavy load here in this third quarter. Burnett and Vera.
Wearing down that Tigers defense again. We've only had 3 drives in this half, and there's still 90 seconds left in the third quarter. Both teams with lengthy drives, live it on the ground. Vera, good fake, keeps it himself. He's twisted down inside the 10 at the 9 for the first down. They'll have first and goal.
McGuire looked like he was going to get faked out, but Vera cuts inside, picks up another first.
Well, special teams and the kicking game has been keyed tonight. Some miscues, and if Reitz can get a score and a PAT, they'll put them up 2 scores. Memorial's main kicker tonight in Pate Barrett is out with an injury. First and goal from the 9. Vera fakes the handoff again. Got a great block, explodes forward, and then a hard collision inside the 5.
Leo Collins, who comes in on defense on the goal line, made the stop.
He got down to the 2-yard line, so a pickup of 7. That was a hard head-on collision. Second and goal. And the Panthers using a lot of the clock on this drive again.
Well, they were in this position the last time, and they gave it to Oxley, who's the third man in the I formation.
He's got 2 rushing touchdowns on the season. Looking for number 3. Oxley driving the pile forward and waiting for the signal. He got in. Touchdown, Panthers. Oxley, for the second time in this quarter, puts Reitz in front, 26-18. PAT coming, an 8-play drive.
It's just a matter of will. We say we're going to run it in, and you're going to have to try to stop us. As we can see, they run on the one down player, feet on the ground, and Oxley follows the tailback. He's the third man, and now Sanderson will get the extra point.
Big PAT to put him in front by 2 possessions. Kick is good. 27-18, Reitz with the lead. 14 seconds to go in the third quarter. 2 drives, 2 scores for the undefeated Panthers.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Well, we've talked about the Reitz explosive offense, all their playmakers, especially at the wide receiver spot. They have some good running backs, but this is like 1960 football, 1970. Keep it on the ground and right up the gut.
Nothing wrong with 1960s and 70s, Jevin.
I didn't say there was. Short kick on the return. This is Hugh Pierce. He has some space to work with. He gets out to the 30-yard line. And we'll have one offensive play before the end of the third quarter. That drive for Reitz was 8 plays, 73 yards. 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Levi Oxley, I want his job. He comes in when they get around the 1 or 2 yard line, hand it off to him, and he gets the touchdown.
Well, Memorial does the same thing with Lewis Seward and Carrick Johnson at fullback as well. And that drive brought to you by our fine folks from Simplicity. One more play and we'll go fourth quarter action.
We'll see if the Memorial offense can respond once again. They did on their last drive, going 11 plays, 65 yards. Hugh Pierce had the 21-yard touchdown catch. And Reitz jumps off sides, gives us a chance to read some scores elsewhere. They're in the fourth quarter. Mater Dei leading Boise 35-12. Harrison on top of Central 35-7. A final at Vincennes. North goes on the road, picks up a good win up there 17-14. And whoa, Jasper had a big lead on Castle earlier. They're now tied at 35 in the fourth quarter.
We'll find at the end of the day the top half of the conference, how it's going to shuffle out.
1st and 5 after the penalty. They fake it to Rode, and the pass goes behind Hugh Pierce. Incomplete. Pierce has been a popular target tonight.
He's got a couple of touchdowns. Oxley's got a couple of touchdowns.
By the way, was told in that Jasper Castle game, tied at 35, about 9 minutes left. That game is at Castle.
I'd like to be keeping stats for that game.
Thanks to Tucker Smith for letting us know.
Stat man, scoreboard man, supreme.
Quick pass out here to Elsperman, trying to turn the corner, and Elsperman cannot. And there is a flag thrown in the area of a hole. That was Caleb Elshman on the reception. That play will take us to the end of the third quarter, and I think Coach Brunson will accept the penalty. Instead of having third down, it'll be 2nd and long for the Tigers. When we come back, and we remind you that tonight's broadcast brought to you by Scott Stratman, attorney at law, an experienced and affordable Evansville attorney for over 28 years. Call Scott Stratman, 812-425-5345, for help with litigation and estate and nursing home planning. If you need legal advice, call attorney Scott Stratman, 812-425-5345.
I think we're going to have to play one more play because I don't know if you can end the play on a penalty.
Well, I would think that's just the end of the first half or the end of the game, possibly. So,
they're going to bring it back for one more time.
It's kind of a silly rule, isn't it?
I don't make them.
If we did, it would be going to the fourth quarter.
Oh, okay. There we go. 1 second left.
So I would think an untimed down will only be, first half, second half situation. Anyways, back to action. 2nd and long for the Tigers. Hard count from Fisher. Doesn't get the Panthers to jump. Play clock down to 10 seconds. looking to throw. Fisher, good protection, scrambling to his right. Throws it down the field. Jump ball deflected, incomplete. Trying to hook up with Caleb Elsterman on that far sideline. And now we go to the fourth quarter. 3rd and long for the Tigers when we come back. 27-18, Reitz on top after 3.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
As we go to the fourth quarter, huge thanks to Royal Express Car Wash. Sponsor of tonight's broadcast, Heath, Pete, and Tina Rupp are the owners of Royal Express Car Wash and proud sponsors of Memorial Football. For a clean car, visit their locations on the west side of Evansville on Pearl Drive or 1201 North Fulton Avenue.
Wright's first 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Memorial, first possession, a touchdown. Memorial trying to replicate Wright's and cut that 9-point deficit.
And it was 13-12 Wright's at halftime, and they open up this quarter with a 9-point lead. Wright's trying to move to 7-0. They'll be at Boise next week and then Mater Dei week 9 per usual. 3rd and long, Fisher pump fake, sets up, heaves it down the field, man in stride, it's picked off. Coming over is the safety, Hayden Summers, his 4th interception of the season. He read it well, good closing speed. Great play by the junior Summers.
Great job as Fisher throws the ball from his own 15, and the interception comes about on the 35, so about a 50-yard toss, a little underthrown, good defensive position, and Summers, who's the top receiver, shows why on offense defensively.
It's one of those for the Tigers, of course, you wanted to complete it, but also it works out somewhat like a punt. Maybe not quite as far, but drive starts from the 36. It's been a healthy dose of this man, Burnett, up the middle, twisting out of tackles, still on his feet, refusing to go down, and now he's smashed by several blue jerseys at the 41. Gain of 5 for Jonas Burnett, who has had an excellent second half.
So that possession was only 20 seconds for the Tigers. And Wright's in that third quarter had the ball 8 minutes and 34 seconds.
They had a drive that took 5 minutes and 25 seconds, another one that took 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Combination between those drives of 21 plays. 2nd and 5. They fake it. Vera running, stumbling, stays on his feet. And we have another flag from our lead official.
Well, it was a tie ball game last week, 10-10 against Castle Reitz. And they came back and outscored the Knights 31-0, and they've outscored the Tigers here 14-6 in the second half. But another holding penalty will march them back.
Well, their speed, you can see how they just wear down defenses, which explains why they did what they did against Castle in the second half last week. There was a face mask against Reitz on that play. That backs them way up.
Okay, yeah, 15-yarder. I give them unofficially 10 penalties for 120 yards.
What's Memorial at?
I've got them 5 for 55.
2nd and 21. Vera looking to throw, pump fakes, scrambles to his right, and down he goes. Vera couldn't get rid of the football. He lost a couple more.
He was looking deep, but a couple of Tiger defenders in his way. So he took the best possible route and just went down.
He lost 3, so it's 3rd and 24, and This is one of those situations where maybe you just take a long shot at Xavier Thomas and Hayden Summers and see what happens.
You go along, I'll get it to you.
Tigers defense trying to get off the field for the first time in this second half. Here's your heave. Deep down the field. Double coverage. Jump ball off the fingertips of Hayden Summers.
And we got another penalty.
I think it's against Reitz. I'm sure some of the Panthers fans are thinking, I'm sure it is. All of them have been tonight. Not all of them, but the majority.
It's going to be refused because it was at 4th and long, so we'll have a Panther punt.
A chance for Memorial to get good field position here with both Hugh Pierce and Caleb Elshman back just past the 50-yard line.
Vera had a 21-yard punt the first half, the only punt of the game by Reitz.
Play that is still looming large is that blocked punt back in the first quarter that gave Reitz their first score and put them up 7-6. Otherwise, we'd have a one-score game. Oh, bad kick. Short and angled toward the Panthers' sideline to let it roll. And so the Tigers will start into Wright's territory. It was almost blocked. Vera had to rush it a bit. I think it came off the side of his foot.
16-yard punt.
Well, you belong at Ivy Tech Community College with 5 times to start each year with flexible scheduling. There is always a great time to begin at Ivy Tech. Join us for Tuesdays at the Tech.
Well, great opportunity for the Memorial Tigers because they'll start in Wright's territory, and it will be on the Panthers' 38.
Now 2 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter on homecoming night for the Tigers from Enlow Field. Great crowd. You heard Athletic Director Matt Weber talk about the great crowd during our halftime show. Wildcat formation with Caleb Elshman moving to his left, tries to follow his blocker Porter Road, and he scampers through the initial line of scrimmage before he's walled up at the 32. Goes for a couple of yards there with Caleb Elshman.
One of the faster Tigers. Looking to take advantage of great field position in Wright's territory. A score here can make it very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Three receivers out to the right. Hash mark left. You might see Fisher roll right.
And in motion, they fake it to him. Elshman keeps it himself, and he has a good chunk of yards before he collides at the 20-yard line, a pickup of 12.
I forgot Elsperman was in there. Good stop in there defensively was Jakari Pfeiffer. He doesn't stop Elsperman. That's 6 points.
Mm-hmm. Here's a look at that play again as
they fake it to Porter.
They faked it to Elsperman. And it worked out for a first down. They're actually inside the red zone, brought to you by Peace of Mind Counseling at the 19. It's still Elsperman in the backfield. Takes it out of the Wildcat, runs himself in between tackles. Gets 3 or 4 yards. Someone lost a helmet on the Memorial front.
And that's the starting center for Memorial, Vaughn, and he's got to come out. So they're going to bring in another center.
Leland Head made the stop. 6'1 senior, 315 pounds.
Brian Carr, the sophomore, will have to play at least one play from the center position. Fisher back in at quarterback.
Tigers trying to make it a one-score game here early in the fourth quarter and put some pressure back on the Wright's offense. Fisher under center. Oh, he fumbled the snap. Able to give it to Rode, but it's going to go nowhere. Loss of a couple. Fisher had problem with the snap under center. It's 3rd and long.
That's what happens when you get a new center in there. Fortuitous for the Tigers.
Again, the Tigers are without their main kicker, so it's pretty well 4-down territory. I would imagine, at least. Joseph Hinkie is their kicker tonight. He did miss a PAT earlier. So a big 3rd down, and we'll say 8. Trips to the near side. Leo Collins on the far side.
Pressure.
Passes Fisher, and he is swallowed up for a sack. Flying through, Levi Oxley comes up big again.
His 3rd sack of the night, I believe, maybe even 4, and a couple of touchdowns on offense. And again, he just comes from the outside.
Well, I guess it's one of those, hey, check it up for the end zone and see what happens here.
Yep. Now watch on your right side of the screen here. Oxley just coming in, bull rushing. Also in there was Caleb Utley. You go long, I'm going to throw it to you.
Play clock down to 4, and Coach Hurley will take a timeout. We'll take one with him. Game could be on the line. 4th and long for the Tigers, down 9, middle of the 4th quarter.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Oakland City University is a private Christian college at a state school price. Check out the Good Neighbor Scholarship that allows for a major savings on tuition and is available to any first-time student living within 60 miles of campus with plans to commute. Oakland City University, an affordable college education right in your backyard. Call today or visit this link to learn more about the Good Neighbor Scholarship.
Well, Memorial with their backs up against the wall here, down 9 points with 6.5 to go in the 4th. They are staring at a 4th and 16 from the Reitz 25-yard line. Have a final score in. Jasper, Castle. Wild one at Castle. Jasper wins 43-42.
Wow. Looks like they went for 2.
North beat Vincennes tonight 17-14. Harrison Top Central 42-7. And Mater Dei beat Boise 35-12. So with that result, we'll talk about that later. Here we go, 4th and 16 from the 25-yard line. Leo Collins sometimes is their go-to guy in these situations to throw it up to him. 6'3". Pass gets deflected, picked off. This will be returned, middle of the field, and that is Aiden Wells who comes up with the interception for the Panthers. And for Wells, his first interception of the season. As the quarterback, Fisher, was hit on the throw, a wobbly pass, an easy INT for Aiden Wells, and that could be your dagger tonight.
It comes back in, pressure all night, ball gets tipped, catches at its highest point, and the second turnover of the second half.
Now, if you're Reitz, I mean, it's been a healthy dose of Vera and Burnett. You expect much the same, up 9, just over 6 minutes to go.
And what's your name, Chuck?
Give a shout out to our cameraman tonight who had a great shot at last interception. Eric Eaton. Did a great job tonight, a part of our IndianaSRN crew. And Chuck Levine, our great producer tonight. We'll be at Vincennes next week for Week 8. Tigers and Alice's. On the ground they go with Burnett. He has some room. 30, 35, 40. Watch him run up that Tigers sideline. Healthy gain for Jonas Burnett, who has had a wonderful second half for the Panthers.
Great acceleration. Actually, the drive started from the 10 because there was a 10-yard penalty. Didn't see what the call was against Reitz. But that goes from the 10 all the way up near midfield to the 47. 37-yard run. Great acceleration.
You mentioned the second and third gear that he has, and we saw it on that play. Looks like Mike Scavara strolling up that sideline.
That's right. In his moped. I've got 9 first downs for Reitz, all in the second half.
Here's Burnett again, right up the gut. He lost the football, scramble for it on the turf. Tigers say they have it, waiting for a signal, and they do. Tigers come up with it. I was about to say, we're going to have a healthy dose of Vera and Burnett. The main key is just protect the football. Burnett got stripped there, and the Tigers have some life with 6:06 to go.
They picked up the first down. Alex Brochure's had the ball. Here we go. Let's take a look. Straight up the middle. McGuire rolls it through. Ball gets knocked out. And didn't see who came up with the ball, but another turnover, takeaway by the Tigers. This time a fumble recovery. And Memorial, new life.
It's the third fumble of the season from Burnett. Tigers still alive here, down 2 scores, just over 6 minutes to go. Fisher to Rode. Good cut to his left, stays on his feet. 45-yard line, lowers his head and glides into Wright's territory as the Tigers start to come right back at him. A healthy run for Porter Road.
Into Panther territory.
Tigers have to work fairly quickly. Looking to pass here on 1st and 10. Fisher nearing the sideline, rips it to Hugh Pierce. Did he stay in bounds? Yes. At the 43-yard line or 42-yard line, pickup of 5. Just about ran out of real estate. Both Fisher and Pierce somehow stayed in bounds.
The clock running under 6 minutes. I don't know if it's a hurry-up offense, but it's certainly got to be a little quicker offense. Because down by 2 scores.
Porter Road slides through. Short gain. Will set up 3rd and a couple.
Dylan Martin, we've called his name a lot defensively for Reitz.
Martin in his senior season came in 6th in tackles on this Reitz defense. 3rd and 2.
Elsperman, bottom of the screen, one-on-one coverage. Of course, it's man-to-man defensively in the secondary all game long for Reitz. But no help from the safety.
Road dives forward, gets upended, and he gains 3. That'll move the chains down to the 35-yard line. Drive continues. Inside of 5 minutes to go. Here comes some pressure from Reitz. Lofting it near sideline. Leo Collins leaping attempt, and it's broken up incomplete. Well covered by the secondary again. That is Dominic Brown. We've caught his name several times on plays like that. Brown has provided good coverage.
Collins might have been out of bounds even if he did catch it. Got to take a shot when you're down with 4:47 to go.
Tigers really haven't had that deep threat tonight. They'd have that 21-yard touchdown pass to Hugh Pierce. That's been about it.
Here comes a blitz.
They fling it out to Elserman, looking for a block. Doesn't get it, has to make a man miss, and he can't do it. He's tripped up. Roland Vera makes a good shoestring tackle, the junior.
Vera does not start on defense, but when it's down to pressure time, they'll run him in there.
3rd and 9 now for Memorial. They were kind of in this area on the last time they had the ball.
The last 2 times they've had the ball, it's been intercepted.
3rd and 8, approaching 4 minutes to go. Good route, passes caught. Luke Elserman stays on his feet, and then he's punished out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Gain of 9, move the chains, 1st down Tigers. It's now 7 plays on this drive for Memorial.
And this started at the Memorial 35-yard line after the fumble recovery. Did not see who got it, but it was a Tiger.
Fresh set of downs. This is a 5 wide receiver set, empty backfield.
Let's see if they bring pressure linebackers. They do 3-man rush.
Fisher has to step up, slings it end zone, out of bounds. That was Luke Elsterman in the area. There were 2 white jerseys around him. Probably a good thing the pass went out of bounds.
Well, in this area of the field, they've looked for Hugh Pierce. He's got a couple touchdown receptions. We'll have to find him in the formation, Jevin. He's the bottom of your screen, the farthest guy out wide. Maybe another crossing pattern. Him running a post pattern, maybe.
Set up the screen pass. Rode makes the catch. 25-yard line. Rode spins away at the 23. That's only a gain of a yard or 2 for Porter Rode.
It was set up there, but the good hustle play by Jakari Pfeiffer limits it to a small gain.
Pfeiffer third on this team in tackles coming in. He has over 40 on the season. And here we are again with a 3rd and 8. Memorial trying to stay alive and make it a 1-possession game. Not much time to work with, though. And a timeout is called by Reitz and head coach Corey Brunson. The first of the half for them will step aside with 3:26 to go. Tigers on life support with 3:26 to go, down 2 possessions, 27-18. They're at the Reitz 22-yard line again. They were in this area last time they had the ball and wound up in a position 4th and long through an interception. And then 2 plays later, Jonas Burnett actually fumbled to give it back to the Tigers. And here we are. Panthers faithful, sensing a 7-0 start here on the near sideline. Defense that came in allowing 12.5 points per game has given up 18 so far tonight. Coming back for it, Leo Collins, middle of the field. And he spins to the 15-yard line. Appears to be short of the first down. It's 4th and about 1.
We got to get the first. Don't get the first here. Stranger things have happened, but it would be awful tough.
Brantley made the tackle for Wright, so game on the line here, 4th and 1. Some of the Reitz fans to their feet. Porter Road, did he get it? I believe he did. He needed just a yard.
Oxley comes crashing in from his defensive end spot.
So it is a first down.
Okay.
At the 13-yard line. Fisher wants a throw. He finds Elserman at the 10. Tries to get away, and Luke goes down. That's a pickup of 3, and you have to start paying attention to the clock now. We're at 2.5 to go.
Great pursuit by the Reitz defense. There are 6-7 white jerseys there.
It's really been a bend, don't break type of defense here from the Reitz Panthers. This will be play number 13 of the drive. If Memorial can score, they're going to be in a position where they have to recover an onside kick. They still have 2 timeouts in their back pocket. Here's Fisher toward the end zone. 101 coverage, incomplete. Xavier Thomas on the coverage there.
Luke Elsperman there, a receiver.
Does stop the clock with 2:02 to go. 3rd and 7 from the 10.
Coach Hurley gives a play to Fisher, who runs back into the huddle. And go to the 3 receivers out to the wide side.
On 3rd down, he has to get rid of it. Ball is in the air. It's picked off. This is Xavier Thomas. He might take it all the way. Thomas to the midfield stripe. 1 man left to beat and out of bounds at the 35-yard line with a game-clinching INT. Xavier Thomas after the quarterback. Fisher was hit on the throw, and the Reitz Panthers are going to move to 7-0 on the season.
3 straight possessions, 3 straight interceptions. As Xavier Thomas also in on defense, picks it off about the 8-yard line and right in front of the Panther bench and right in front of the crowd. And Luke Elsperman, a touchdown saving tackle.
So now a chance for Reitz to run out the clock here with 1:48 to go. Tigers had a couple of chances deep in Reitz territory but could not cash in. That's now 14 interceptions on the season for Reitz, averaging 2 per game now through 7 weeks. Tigers can stop the clock 2 more times. Here is Burnett, who fumbled on his last carry, and he is stacked up, brought down there by number 21 for the Tigers, which is Jack Brackett.
And we've got a timeout.
Indeed. Well, it's about time to start thinking about our IndianaSRN player of the game. You've got a little time to think about it, but anybody stand out?
Well, you got to look at both sides of the ball, and he's been very good. A couple of touchdown runs by Levi Oxley. He's got 3 sacks. If you look on the running game, Roland Vera, along with Jonas Burnett, have really got the job done. But you stop and think about it. Defensively, they have Reitz for the 2nd week in a row in the second half has really stepped up. And Oxley, a big part of that.
Now, you mentioned to me before the game that Memorial had won, 6 straight in the series? Is that correct?
6 straight, correct. This is the 100th game of the series. Reitz leads 55-39-5. And Reitz now with 722 wins, 2nd all-time in the state. Only Indianapolis Cathedral at 772 wins leads.
2nd down, here is Vera. He almost lost the ball. Vera tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. Tigers will stop the clock 1 more time, maybe? Or no? Guess you could stop it on this next drive, or this next play. Now they call a timeout, but they let about 10 seconds go off. Well, anyways, very good chance that we see these teams play each other here in, 3 to 4 weeks once sectionals rolls around?
Yeah, the draw for the 4A sectional, both these teams in it, will be Sunday, October 9th. And 6 of the 10 teams in the SIC, all that are 4A schools, only Boonville in this sectional without it, a membership in the SIC. Again, Reitz, an original member of the SIC, 1935. Memorial joined in 1947. Yeah. Yes, go ahead. And you can see these 2 guys. On the left is Carrick Johnson. On the right is Jonas Burnett. These 2 guys, as we talked about in the first half, were members of the Evansville Speedsters of the USA Track and Field Junior Olympic team. Back when they were in junior high, they both ran the 100 and the 200. And They were first and second in the state sectional meet and ended up first and fifth with Burnett winning it. So these two guys have been chasing each other all night, and just another story you're not going to see anywhere else, Jevin. Thanks, Chuck, for putting that up.
So it's 3rd and 10. Memorial out of timeouts. Burnett gets a yard or two, and Reitz will let it run down as much as they can and probably run it again. So now, I was going to talk about this earlier. So Reitz is going to be 7-0. Castle lost tonight. They dropped to 4-3. Memorial's 4-3. Vincennes 4-3, and North 4-3, along with Jasper. Wow, a lot of teams 4-3. So what you have to look at is Mater Dei is 5-2. Reitz is 7-0. So 2 games will separate those 2 teams, and of course they will meet Week 9 at the Reitz Bowl.
Yeah, Reitz will take on right back here. They'll be back here at Enloe to host Boise.
So I guess with a win next week for Reitz, if they defeat Boise, then they will clinch the SIAC regular season.
Exactly. And they've clinched a tie right now. Now we've got a timeout called by Reitz.
So timeout Reitz, 33 seconds to go.
All right, Chuck and Eric. Chuck, our producer, Eric, our camera guy. Big thanks, and certainly big thanks to all the folks in the athletic departments of Evansville Reitz and Evansville Memorial, as Beth Hagan, the athletic director over at Reitz, and Matt Weber, the athletic director over at Memorial. Big thanks to Tucker Smith, as always, the marketing director at Memorial, giving us all the stats and all the scores in the Southern Indiana Athletic Conference. As Memorial and Reitz, all we thought it was going to be, as Reitz took the lead in the ball game on a blocked punt. Memorial came back, took the lead back 12-7. But since then, Reitz got the lead 13-12 at halftime. But Reitz scores on their first 2 possessions of the third quarter. Memorial actually in their first possession. And no scoring here in the fourth quarter.
So 4th and 8, 33 seconds to go. Reitz is going to throw it, and a flag flies before the snap. Early movement on the right side. Well, you belong at Ivy Tech Community College with 5 times to start each year with flexible scheduling. There's always a great time to begin at Ivy Tech. Join us for Tuesdays at the Tech. Appeared Reitz was going to take a shot toward the end zone here on 4th down. Why not?
And again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors. We've been talking about them all game long and all season long. So I'll certainly go in and thank them for bringing you these Southern Indiana Athletic Conference ball games.
Here's a bomb toward the end zone, incomplete. Turnover on downs with 27 seconds, and the Tigers offense will come back on the field and start their own 35-yard line. Again, they're out of timeouts, so not a whole lot they can really do.
Well, you go long, and it's something good happens.
You know, it's really interesting because I think you can turn to the special teams being a big part of tonight's game. You had Reitz with a block punt for a score. We talked about Memorial's field goal kicker being hurt in Pate Barrett. You had a missed PAT early, which set up, having to go for 2 a couple of times. Tigers failed on several 2-point conversions. And that's why we have somewhat of an awkward score at 27-18, a 9-point game. Pass near side. Caleb Elserman gets shoved out of bounds by Dominic Brown, who's had a good game defensively for the Panthers. Been swarming Tigers wide receivers. Gain of 5 or 6 there on that completion with 22 seconds to go. Well, with this win, Corey Brunson will move over 500 with his overall record at Reitz in his 3rd season. He will improve to 15-14. And he was at Harrison from 2013 through 2016, won a sectional championship with that squad in 2015. At Mount Vernon for 3 years and now in his 3rd season at Reitz. Fisher to the midfield stripe, caught by Leo Collins. Ball is loose on the turf. And stops the clock with 14 seconds as the Tigers come up with it.
And that's good for the first down. Maybe one more play, maybe two at the most.
And now before that snap, we've got a flag.
They wanted to reset the play clock.
So one or two more plays for Memorial, and this one will be officially over.
And Memorial will take the drive an hour north to Vincennes next week, and we'll be there.
That'll be, what, a pair of 4 and 3 teams now.
Yep. And that will be a 6:30 Central Time start.
Well, Vincennes gave Reitz a scare week 2. Reitz scored inside of 10 seconds in that game and won 31-28.
At 28 points, the most points scored against Reitz this year.
Here's Fisher. Comes near side. Leo Collins makes the catch. And they keep the clock running as they said he was inbounds. Now they run it out, and this game is over. So the Reitz Panthers come away with a 27-18 victory. As they move to 7-0, the Tigers fall to 4-3. With 2 weeks left in the regular season and a very good chance that these two teams will meet again in a few weeks come postseason time. Again, the sectional draw is 1 week from Sunday. But Reitz wins round 1 this year, and they snap a 6-game losing streak against Memorial. All right, Mike, let's go ahead and name our IndianaSRN player of the game.
Well, I'm going to go with a guy that did it on defense and offense for Reitz, Levi Oxley. Gets a pair of rushing touchdowns, gets 3 quarterback sacks, and he represented the defense of play for Reitz and offense as well as a great individual effort. That's why it's a team game, though, and the rest of the guys on offense and defense get the job done. So Levi Oxley, the junior for Reitz, our Rockabar player of the game. So the Rockabar, head over there for lunch or dinner. Open 7 days a week.
They are located at 1618 South Kentucky Avenue in Evansville. As Mike mentioned, stop by after the game or for lunch or dinner at the Rockabar for your favorite pizza and other fine food. All right, we'll talk to you next week from Vincennes, 6:30 kickoff on the air around 6:20. One final time. For Mike Scavara, I'm Jevin Redmond in Low Field. A Week 7 final. Reitz stays undefeated as they take care of the Memorial Tigers 27-18. Good night from in Low Field on IndianaSRN.